Ba-doop-a-doo. Still so loud.
Very loud.
Chicka-cha.
Can we skip like 2 or 3 of these?
No, this is a different one.
Oh, I know this
They've
one.
done great. They've done great. We got Culture Casino out there. We got Sporking News Podcast. We got author Stephen Walton. We've got Lorena Creel. We've got Vigilante Williamson. We got Jake D. I'm forgetting someone. Oh my God. I'll remember it later. Brain fart. But he says Kathleen Kennedy will never be fired.
But this is a true fact. Like the statistics there are true.
I love. That is one of my favorite clips that you guys made. I had to play it. All right, this is the last one. Here we go.
Yeah. Oh, you need to update this one.
Yeah, it needs to be updated, I think.
My check. 1 2 1 2.
My goodness.
Okay.
Look at Culture Casino's hair, dog.
Yeah.
And there's that outer space guy. The outer limits.
Were you going freestyle on us, Makini? All right, everybody. It is Saturday. Oh shit! Hold on. My bad. All right. It's Saturday night, and it is the dump, and we have a great panel here. We got a lot of shit to get through. Oh, there goes my money. Damn it. We got a lot of things to get through tonight, but let's first introduce our guest, and it is the lovely Miss Gravemaster, Madam, me lady Gravemaster. How would you like to be called?
You can call me LG. Everybody does.
Oh, LG.
So.
All right. Welcome, and let them know where they can find you.
Well, right now you can find me right here.
Perfect.
But I do have a small YouTube channel that I'm working on, trying to grow a little bit. And then I'm also mostly on Twitter and Instagram. I have a Facebook that I don't touch because Facebook is of the devil. But otherwise, yeah, that's where you can find me.
I love having you here. I swear. I love it. You are worried about the man as much as we are, and that is awesome. So thank you for coming in. You are invited anytime you want to be here. But let's move on to some of the regulars. We have Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. How are you, Tommy?
Hey, Scott, what's going on? And we are
live
from the bottom of the utensil drawer where everybody puts the utensils that they don't want to use, the sporks.
Oh, God, that's a loud microphone. Turn that down a shade. And Makini 90, or Makini draws. He's a drawer. He draws things.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. My name is Makini 90 Arts Nostra, and welcome you to the Saturday shit show that is the dump right here on
I like it.
Sporking News Podcast. It's great to be here, of course, with the usual suspects, and of course the absolute lovely Lady Gravemaster. It's very pleasure to meet you for the very first time.
Yeah.
By the way, guys. Yeah, thank you. By the way, guys, I got something. Oh, sorry.
No.
I was just gonna say,
okay. I shut him up for you. Go ahead, Makini.
By the way, I got something. Stay tuned.
It was important.
Stay tuned until after the dump because stay tuned at the end of the dump because I got something a little special.
Oh.
I got something a little special for you.
Okay. All right. I like that.
That looks like you're drawing a woman
It does.
Yes,
like
it is.
woman features. I'm so confused right now.
I am very anti-PC.
That bulge should be bigger. The bulge should be bigger.
She's that woman. Okay?
You gotta put junk in there somewhere, right?
I can't even tell if she has an Adam's apple. What's wrong with you?
I know you're covering that up. I should see something bigger than mine. I wish mine was
Here's
bigger.
what you do: just like draw a guy and then put like purple hair on them. And you're gonna have the perfect woman.
Right.
Because we all know.
I'm not. Wait a minute. I'm not
man.
staining my paper, man. That's. I'm not gonna. No.
Show him Culture. Oh, my bad. I'm just saying, Culture looks. That's what you would draw if you wanted to draw a woman nowadays. Is this?
It's true.
No. Culture's a very handsome person.
Very handsome. Very handsome.
We would win more gold if we had more men in the women's sports. That's a fact.
That is a fact. And what are you up to, Mads? Mad.
Not much. Hanging out.
Great. Thank you for being here. And then we got the lovely Jayne Theory. How are you, Jayne?
She's not even unmuted.
Say it, please.
Hey guys.
Hey!
Hello. I'm fantastic. Happy to be here.
Thank you for being here, Jayne. We need your legal expertise tonight. And we also have the great, the lovely Culture Casino.
Hey everybody. I'm eating dinner.
No shit. We all saw it.
Delicious.
You know what?
Oh, and also forgot to mention, thank you to everybody who came by on Martigan Prevents World Entertainment, where we had a special guest in the lovely Mandy Summers. That was an absolute blast.
Yeah,
we had some fun. And live on the stream, she hit the magic number. Like while she was on our stream, she hit a milestone on her comic. So she's reaching.
That's awesome. I didn't even realize that, and I was there.
We had a Yeti on our show.
That's great. Thanks for talking. ArcherJacobBarton, who is a channel member and a good guy, says, hello. Welcome to the Dump Stream with @Sporking News Podcast, the guest panel. Please touch that like button. You know you want to. Please share the stream too.
Our producer got eaten by a lion on Wednesday.
Whose microphone is? Are you still here, Mad? I thought
mine.
You got to talk to people.
Hello? Am I here?
Yeah. Are you there, Mad? Oh, we lost him again. Oh, there he is. There he is. We got Keely Chow in the house. All right, let's see who we got here. We got Keely. We got me. We got the Time Prophet. I like to call him our cranky Scotsman. He's not from Scotland, I guess, but Brutal Morningwood with the greatest name. Hail, my brother had some company tonight. Dude left like 9 Yinglings in my fridge. Drinks on me. Get hammered, my friend, because we all sound smarter and funnier, and I'm better looking. Who else do we have? I know I saw Stig Kenobi. Oh, we got Michail Woolf. He's a channel member. Oh, by the way, Culture.
He's not here, so I can talk. I thought Yinglings was like a generic Mogwai. I'm like, dude, do not feed those things. Like,
wow, that was terrible.
I don't know what a Yingling is.
Christ,
what's a Yingling?
Man. It's a Pennsylvania
It's when a Southern
bear.
person tries to say youngling that is being trained by
Yingling. Yeah.
Yingling.
Somebody come from Texas, yeah.
Yingling is Pennsylvania.
Well.
Yingling is Pennsylvania.
I got a lot of shit today because apparently serum is like pronounced serum.
Serum?
Serum?
Yeah, we're all saying the same thing, guys. Like I guess that it was, serum.
Okay, anyways, Soul Assassin. E. Clay Thomason, he's a channel member. Hail, I'm deaf now. Thanks. You're welcome. That is all. That's all right here.
You said I had to do something?
Yeah, don't forget we had added a new channel member last week at the very end.
Who was that?
That was the great, oh God, you just put me on Front Street. It's Andy, but I forgot Andy's last name. Hold on 1 second. I will get Andy's last name. This is riveting. Signor. I like that. Andy, it's a McCallum.
Andy McCallum?
McCallum.
It's McCallum.
McCulloch.
No, not McCulloch.
Wallace.
By the way,
I don't know that. What you're doing.
You should let Mad Martigan introduce himself. I mean, sometimes
that would be cool.
Once in a while.
Hey, how's it going? It's El Mad Martigan out.
So we also have Stig Kenobi in the house. Hi there, Spork and company. Hope you're all well.
I'm not sure whether to laugh or feel offended by that.
No, you shouldn't. You did great. Sam McCabe says hello to everyone. Lola Meatz. Scott, you're nuts. I know that. Don't tell my parole officer. I don't have one. I'm just kidding. Parrot Head. Scott is George R. R. Martin's biggest simp. That's true. That is true. Brightest Day.
If I only had the PewDiePie clip. All I need is a PewDiePie simp clip.
I'll tell you what, Scott, you have nothing to worry about because 2030 is right around the corner when you're going to get that book.
Hey, we're going to get the books. Jayne, we're going to get the books.
We are absolutely going to get the books.
He's getting diabetes before you get that book.
He already has diabetes. What were you going to say, Lady Gravemaster, before everybody interrupted you, mostly mad?
All I said was that I'm pretty sure I heard an S on the end of book. And
Books.
It's two. There's two.
I'm just going to say I am so glad to find optimism is still alive and well, as delusional as it may be.
We're going to get those books. I don't get
book.
Yes, right? Books. I told Gary this, right? We told Gary this the other week. We told Doomcock this. I've told everybody that's been not coming back to my channel because I will not let them say that we're not getting these books. But please come on.
You're going to get your book. It's going to be a nice cover, and the inside is going to say, "Watch the new show coming on HBO."
Now you may because you're being very vague and you're simply saying new books. I agree. He's edited several books for other people. He's done other projects for other people. So I think he will get books.
Jayne,
you're going to get Elden Ring before you get the new books.
Jayne, what books are we getting?
The Song of Ice and Fire will be complete.
Wait, I thought that was already a book.
Final 2 books in the series.
In the series, yes.
Okay, what about Dream of Spring?
That's the final book.
That is the final book. We will get it.
No, he won't. He's going to be dead.
He will not be dead.
Be dead. He may be on his deathbed, but he will complete.
All right. I will do this thing. I will open my mind.
Open your mind and heart and heart.
No, that is frozen shut, solid, dead.
Okay.
I will open my mind.
Okay. So this is why. All right. So I believe that after Dance with Dragons, well, let me read this first. Storyman Jack for $5 in. He is a channel member. Hail all, new sci-fi series about AI coming soon. Hail all. He is an awesome writer, guys. This is someone who will finish his books.
And he's Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
hey, Jack, I finished your commissions. If you didn't get the message, so just
well, that was sweet of you. That's awesome.
Right.
Okay, so this is it. George had 400 extra pages after finishing A Dance with Dragons, and actually it was the last 2 books because he had one book and he broke it up into 2, and he had 400 more pages. That's a quarter of the way there for one of his books. And he's been working on it, dedicated working on it for the last 11 years, people.
You're out your fucking mind.
Now, this is the problem. We had 2 sinners by the name of Dan and Dave. They were sinners. They should be...
They were heretics.
Heretics.
And I'm assuming we're the non-believers, right?
That's fine. You could be a non-believer. That's fine. We're going to heaven, Jayne and I. So listen, these heretics... Great word, Jayne. Heretics that took our baby and destroyed it, shit all over it, and made George on this series finale of Game of Thrones tweet about a different show altogether. Altogether didn't even talk about that show.
Hey, Scott, did you call for a heretic? I'm here for you, buddy. I don't know if you knew. I'm going to be directing the next Game of Thrones series coming up. And I know everybody's going to love it. Everybody's going to love it. And for those of you that don't, well...
Can I just say that, like, you should, like, have some sense of, like, I mean, don't hate on them completely, the Dan and Dave guy, because they did bring an entire, like, this huge audience to your Songs of Fires and Dances. That
they made people hate
the
series who were never even fans
of the books. Exactly. Like they're scumbags. And it's not even DB Weiss. It's freaking Dan. No, wait a minute. Dan, right? No, Dave. Ah, shit.
Does it matter? I don't.
Well, one goes by DB, and I always screw up their names. The taller one, we'll say.
Yeah.
Daddy's money.
Yeah, because
what a prick.
Yeah, because they decided that, hey, we got a Star Wars gig. How did that go?
Exactly.
I'm still waiting.
Stig Kenobi says Dan and Dave will contemplate and I got it. I caught it before you. And regret their sins as they are sliding naked down a giant razor blade while trying to break with their toes. Ow, that sounds painful.
Ow.
But he's absolutely right. And Commander Ed I can't say it. Commander Ed Striker of Shadow. I don't know who this is.
And you call us a heretic or non-believers? Oh,
is this what is this like?
Right? Is that a Dune thing?
What? A Dune thing?
Isn't that dude from Dune?
Oh Lord.
No, isn't that like Babylon 5?
Okay.
Is it Babylon 5?
I don't know.
Babylon. Okay.
Battlestar Galactica?
Is this a Star Trek thing?
Oh.
Lady Gravemaster, who is this commander we speak of?
First of all, we need to discuss Babylon 5 and Dune are not the same thing, Matt. No wonder he never lets you talk.
Now that's heresy. That is heresy right there.
What? I didn't say it was the same thing. And I'm pretty sure Scott said Babylon 5.
I didn't say they were the same thing. I just was throwing out names of things I might not know that well.
Okay. I swear one of you said that they were basically the same thing.
That would have been Mad Mardigan.
I didn't.
That would have been Mad Mardigan.
It's true, but I didn't.
It's not true. How is that even close to true?
This is true heresy, Lady Gravemaster.
All right.
They're not the same thing. It doesn't matter. Okay, so it takes straight. So then Star Wars is the same thing as Dune?
Yeah, it's pretty similar. They got people in.
I'm sorry about that. I am so sorry about that, everyone.
You've committed crimes against
crap.
Now, you know what? Now, if he would have said that Star Wars was the same thing as Star Trek, considering how most of these writers are treating it now, I could have almost got that.
You know,
yeah. So it's SHADO with like periods behind each. It's okay, hold on, I can remember this. Supreme Headquarters, Alien Defense. Oh, I don't remember what the O is. Something. Well, the O is something. I don't remember what it is. But it's
was that the show?
UFO. No, the show is UFO. Commander Edward Ed Straker is appointed to his post, and so like he it's the United Nations Security Council, and the show it's UFO.
Okay, I'm looking. I'm going to watch this.
Supreme headquarters of the Alien Defense Organization.
Okay.
How old is this?
Oh God.
The 80s, 70s,
70s, I think.
Okay.
70s?
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to have to check this out. That is awesome. Thank you. I will definitely check this out.
I'm not going to.
But the commander, because you suck.
You can live in shadow. It's fine.
So the commander, thank you very much for the $5. Says Scott, you'll get the final game of
commodes,
as in like Japanese
toilet. No, that's kimono.
That's a
kimono.
Toilet.
That's a shitter. Okay.
Yeah.
Novels, when Cecil releases Cash Garb audiobook with Oxmal as the narrator. So I'm guessing.
Cecil?
Oh my God.
That's never going to happen.
You don't know who Cecil is?
No.
Where have you been?
Where did you find him?
Where have you been, bro?
Where did you find
locked up
this
in a cage, dangling over other skeleton bones, while he let a little, dwarf man come and cut him down with more bones as they knocked out the bottom of it.
Damn.
I'm sorry. I'm embarrassed I didn't know this. Okay, I am. But like I was saying before, Benioff is the shit among the two. Thank you, Stig. His dad is a banker who sponsored HBO to make the show, and they let his son do the show. Not even kidding. That is the damn truth. And
I believe it.
And he tricked. Pretty much DB Weiss told Benioff, hey, here's a book series I love. Why don't you check it out? Benioff, I'll give him the credit, realized there's something with this. Like, there's money to be had. And they made the show. But when after that first season where they got Emmys and praise, and they started to believe that they were actually the creators of the show, like of the series, that's when I lost it. That's when I lost those two douchebags. So right now, I feel like I feel like George is trying to fix everything they did in the last few seasons because he gave them these stupid, like, if, let me put it this way. If George decided to make Bran the king, there would be a damn good way he got to there. But they ruined it for it, so he has to change. You know what? Let's do it. We're going to talk about this article right now.
Go.
But first, Lola Meatz for $20, and she is a member. Thank you, Lola. Nothing but love for the Sporking News podcast. I appreciate Lola. You are the best. Thank you so much. All right, here we go. Let me find the share.
Wait a minute. Just leave that up there a little longer.
Oh, hold on. What are you talking about?
Yeah, leave that up there.
Yeah, just leave that up there for a couple seconds.
Okay, I could do that for us.
McKinney could probably sketch it out for you, you know.
Yeah.
A sketch.
Okay, so here we go. This is from MovieWeb, and it says Game of Thrones creator promises a new ending is coming. This is of July 31st by Anthony Lund. I don't know if this is new information or not, so excuse me if I'm repeating, because I saw the headline, knew Jayne was coming on. I thought we would have to read this. So, George R. Martin has said that the final book of his Song of Ice and Fire saga will take the story in a different direction to the TV show.
Do they have an exact quote?
That's what I'm hoping to find right now.
Don't get my hopes up.
I'm looking.
Can I take a guess? Here, scroll back up, and we can see if we can guess what the quote is.
Okay, I like that. Right. Who wants to go first?
I'll do it.
Okay.
I volunteer tribute. That's what the kids all say, right?
Oh, all right.
So, either it's going to be rehashing the quote where he said he wished he had stayed ahead of the television series with his books.
That's a good one.
Because from my understanding, husband is a huge fan of the books. I am not. Husband was a huge fan of the show until what they did. But I never was. But I have read a bit of it. But from what I do know, like I said, never got into it, not a fan, will never claim to be. There's a bunch of stories that they skipped. There's a bunch of people that they skipped.
Yep.
So the most common defense that I have heard is that George thought he had more time because there was so much more in the books that
absolutely.
he thought they were going to go over, and it was going to be, there were going to be more seasons, and it was going to be more fleshed out. So that's the biggest one I've heard. So in conjunction with that is the quote of where he thought he would be able to stay ahead of the series with books. And then the other tweet, or the other thing that he has had on his blog, was that not to take him seriously when it comes to deadlines, because the writing process, like, it always changes, and you know, like, now I'm being crucified by these people who say that I've made this promise, so I'm done with deadlines. So I think it's going to be one or the other or both of those quotes.
Damn, that is a good guess, because I agree with you on the deadline thing. He always brings that up. I'll agree with you on Dan and Dave literally were thrown a bag of cash and said, do 15 seasons. And they said, no. They said, well, at least do a whole 10 episodes for the last season. And they said, no. These guys didn't give a shit about the money anymore. They wanted to move on after they destroyed it. They left out one of the biggest components of the books is the whole Aegon series, or Fagon, depending on who you want to talk to. Like, that is one of the biggest things. And it blows my mind that I understand they did book 1 in season 1 because they had to lock people in, and the big ending of that is what happens to Ned Stark. But after that,
Ned Stark?
It's a long story. But after that, they could have dragged out the rest of the books for 10 to 15 seasons before he even needed to finish the books. So I agree with you on a lot of that. I think also he's going to blame the pressure of fans and people like that trying to, making him feel bad, because he always now slides that in. That is, yeah. Go ahead.
Yes. Is there a part where he's going to actually regret about the fact that we had an entire year of lockdowns and he spent his year inside a cabin?
Yep. He'll bring that up. He'll bring that up.
Well, I'm waiting for that.
Yeah, he'll bring that up.
Here's the deal, though. Like, do you want him
to
rush?
The what?
Here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Dill, dough.
Dough.
That's what it sounded like.
Deal. Not the
Okay,
deal,
here is the deal. Would you rather him rush through just so you can get your little book, or would you rather it be right and be what he wanted, what his vision is, and it's the complete?
He's clearly not rushing.
I mean, 11 years rushing? I mean, I don't know.
He's not rushing.
Yeah, he's definitely not rushing. Maybe he's Polish, but he's not rushing.
I think of his own volition, he's going to finish them. I don't think he's rushing. He's clearly not, because he's actually going back and editing chapters he's already released.
Yep.
So he knows what he's doing.
He does.
So do you think the editing of the chapters is because he's found a way to sort of maybe expand and improve on them, or is it because of the societal current pressures?
Right. That he might
he will not bend to that.
It's not how he writes. His characters take on a life of their own, and they end up wherever they end up.
Yep, he will not be able to. Look, he has fought the idea of lessening the harsh world. He's like, even our medieval history was very harsh towards women, very harsh towards the weak. He is not going to bend the knee to that. Now, has he slowed down hoping that this would have passed since 2016? Maybe, but I don't think he'll care. Like, he's made his loot. He needs to finish the series now. That's what it is. Let me just pick up these couple super stickers. We got a super sticker from the beautiful Miss Martin Muses, who is one of my Game of Thrones friends, or Song of Ice and Fire friends, and she probably sent a beautiful rose. So thank you very much.
She did.
Of course she did. She's the best. Please check out her channel, guys. If someone could put her link in there, I'd love it. So with Storyman Jack for $5. Last one on a budget due to home buying. Congratulations, buddy. I wanted to say that I've missed you all so much. Too much real life lately. Amen. I'm sorry to hear that. Now he says that, and then what does he do? He throws a $10 one at us. What are you doing, man? At Sporking News Podcast, deadlines have to be part of the process, because if not, creatives get very easily distracted. Hello, look at my non-content for the last 3 weeks. Last one, I promise. All right. And that's true. Like, his people should be wrangling him in, but they just let him do what he wants to do.
They need to isolate him.
Yeah.
Even more.
Up in his cabin.
Yep.
Yeah, lock him up, chain him to the desk, and don't let him leave until he gets you what you want.
That's right.
You know what, Scott? I think you were
Exactly
really
right.
overly optimistic. I think out of those 400 pages that you said he had extra, at least half of them are his delivery orders.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Look, all you need is Kathy Bates there with a sledgehammer and a block.
Yeah, she got it done. She got that book done. I think. I don't know. I never saw the movie, but I feel like she did.
What are you doing on YouTube?
Do you tar and feather him on a regular basis? Because if not, you should consider that regiment.
Thank you. You know what? Good idea. Like, dude, what do you talk about on your channel? Because I never gave you a chance to introduce yourself. So what do you talk about?
Hey, it's El Mad Martigano.
All right, so back to Game of Thrones. So this is going to be what? Okay, so speaking to PBS in Chicago,
it was funny.
George R.R. Martin said, looking back. Oh, okay, so I think we already heard this one, but we're going to go. Looking back, I wish I'd stayed ahead of the books. My biggest issue there was when they began the TV series, I had 4 books already in print, and the 5th one came out just as the series was starting in 2011. I had a 5-book head start, and these are gigantic books. As you know, I never thought they would catch up with me, but they did. Nope, they caught up with me and passed me. That made it a little strange because now the show was ahead of me, and the show blah, blah, blah. All right.
You know what, Scott? I mean, quite honestly, if they wanted to try to keep this true to the novels that he had written, why didn't HBO just take it upon themselves to say, hey, we're going to take a break this coming season and try to give him a little bit more time to try to work on some of his content before they pushed ahead with it? That would have been the sensible and reasonable thing to do.
Yeah. Sensible. When were they sensible? Like, I think George worked in Hollywood since the 70s, did a lot of good work on sci-fi shows, Beauty and the Beast in the early 90s. And then he decided and literally started writing this book when he was thinking about another project. And he wanted to make the world so big that TV or movies could not reproduce it. But technology caught up and they were able to. And I don't think he was ready for the amount of success, the amount of how many people wanted him at their cons, at their, schools, at their graduations, at this, at that. I really think it was overwhelming for him, and it still is. I think he's a really good person that is way over his goddamn head. I really believe that. I think he's way over his head.
At the very least, Scott, maybe he should have took a more active role in looking over what they were writing for these shows. I mean, at the very least, he could have said, hey, maybe this is the way this part should go, or maybe this is the way it should end. I mean, he didn't have to give away everything he was planning on doing in his books, but at the very least, he could have led him in the right direction. Maybe everybody wouldn't have hated it as much.
Right. I love this one too. Sam puts it perfectly about people when it touches what you were saying, Lady Gravemaster, where people do hold it against George about how his world is. And he says there's a lot of idiots around who seem to think authors must necessarily agree with everything their characters do and believe. It's absurd. Like, George isn't the characters. He's writing about a medieval world, and there are groups out there that must pepper this poor old man about decisions. Now, they blamed him for the whole Sansa thing in season, what was that, 6 or 7? She's in the Vale. She's not even married to that dude in the books, but people blamed him for that. I understand why people get upset, but it's a freaking book, people. We were at TT says Sporking News Podcast. We get a review of your thoughts on Cowboy Bebop sometime soon. I am like 7 episodes in. I keep getting pulled back to Black Clover, Attack on Titan. I just started Van Helsing.
The Hugh Jackman movie?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's anime. But thank you for
He has
playing.
no connection to the entertainment industry of today.
But Culture, where did you find, what about him pulled you into this friendship you guys started, and why have I allowed it?
If I had to guess, it would be my charisma, my humors.
I have never seen his humorous bones. He hasn't showed me an X-ray or a fluoroscope, so I have no idea what his humorous looks like.
When you say humors, are you referring to the demigods' humors, or do you?
Well, I mean more like in the way like Michel de Montaigne, the French philosopher, used.
See, I thought he was talking about the humorous bone.
Quote it, motherfucker. Quote it. What did they say? Quote it.
What, Michel? All right, hold on. Give me a second.
All
right, hold on.
Yep. No, we'll hold.
Hold on.
Yep,
right,
holding.
It's
Wait a second.
Fuck.
Oh, that's
no,
deep shit there.
No, it's something like these are my thoughts and my let me look it up.
That doesn't make a.
That doesn't. I'm sorry, I can't remember the exact quote from the man.
Oh, but don't be one of these snobbish bastards. Oh, Michel de Montaigne. No clue what he said.
I know things he says.
Nietzsche.
Okay. Well, to be fair, nobody understands what Biden is saying, and people still follow him. So
that is true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Suck it. Thank you.
Wow,
why I'm helping you. But
okay, to answer your question, though, Scott,
I gotta separate those two.
So one day I was on a show, and Mad Martigan rolled through there, and somehow he's like, "Hey, do you want to come help me out? You have a bigger channel than me." And at that time, I didn't. I had like 200 people on my channel.
Yeah, still bigger than his.
You want to come and hang out? And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And so I went on this weird thing where they tried to gotcha me.
Oh,
that is not what happened at all. It wasn't a gotcha thing.
Sure, this will be a lot of fun. And then they had a guy on there trying to tell me about Star Wars, and it was
this is not what happened.
Are you sure it wasn't Babylon 5? Because according to him, they're the same thing.
Very close. Very close.
It was bad. And then it downshifted into religion and philosophy and stuff in a weird way. And then
sounds like an exciting channel.
It wasn't my channel. It was a podcast that I was on. I still pop up every once in a while.
I'm sorry, everybody.
This is gonna be so like I can't wait to see this all unfold because like it's Scarlet, Blunt, and Stone. They're like the whitest women in Hollywood. So like, this is gonna be great.
And that's saying something.
Amen.
They really are. They're like see-through almost. They're translucent. You know, like they are like, and they've been around for a while now. So it's like
I want to preface this that ScarJo has said that women are very underpaid, and while she is the highest paid actress in Hollywood,
she is, and they are. Maybe they are, but this year she was right. Jayne,
I mean, who better to know? I guess.
Right, but Jayne, give us a little bit of what happened with this lawsuit before we go into this article, if you don't mind.
So basically, everybody is assuming, and I guess from the media reports, that she's suing Disney because Disney breached her contract. What she's actually suing Disney for is interference with her contract with Marvel, the subsidiary of Disney.
Okay.
And she's blaming Disney for forcing Marvel to release her film simultaneously on the streaming service and in theaters, when she's arguing that per their contract between herself and Marvel, it was supposed to be released exclusively in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that the verbiage in her contract does not say that it's going to be released exclusively in theaters. And she acknowledges that there are exceptions to the custom and practice of the industry, both now and at the time that she signed the contract, yet wants to rely on what was most common and what was the general practice when it came to other Marvel films and how they both understood the contract and how it should have been executed. I don't think she's going to be able to prove that Disney forced Marvel to do this. And second, I think it's going to be difficult for her to prove that there was some understanding between them that's not explicit in the contract that should apply to the contract and therefore justify her complaint against Disney. It's just, it seems like she and or her attorneys wanted something to be in the contract that simply wasn't there. And now she's having to deal with the consequences of that.
I think it has to do with the loss of money that she had, because if she had a back-end deal where, like, if she made money depending on how well it did at the theaters by Disney putting it as a same day release, that's going to cut into how much money she's actually owed. And I think what they're trying to say is that by doing that, it was purely to save money from having to pay her what she would have been owed if it was a theater release only.
How can they prove that?
You're gonna have to prove intent of that.
Right. I think that's the issue.
She would also have to prove that she would have in fact made more money in theaters, especially at a time. I mean, we still are in this time where some theaters aren't open. You have restrictions. You have people being told to stay home. You have this new variant. Disney doesn't know what's going to happen in the fall. How do they know that now is not the only time they can release it? Like there are other factors at play besides her.
Right.
And she's going to have to prove that they knew that the movie would make more money in the fall, which I don't know how she can do that. And therefore she would have made more money, and they made this decision to stop or to avoid paying her. That's a whole lot of hoops to jump through.
You know what, Jayne? I think you touched on a lot of that when you had that live stream the other day.
Awesome live stream. That was today, wasn't it?
You hit on all the right topics on that.
I'm sorry.
And a lot of this does just kind of come off as she's butthurt about it because she didn't make as high of a percentage off of it as she thinks that she could have. But in the same token, though, I mean, quite honestly, as much as I think it's a bunch of nonsense, I would still like to see Disney taken down the peg. And I see that other actresses are stepping up, too. You had Emma Stone and who was the other one?
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt.
And there was even talk about people like The Rock are looking at maybe lawsuits against
No, see, that's the
companies.
difference. That's the difference. The Rock isn't, because I believe The Rock from what we read,
it was through his company.
Right,
His company
he worked out a deal.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Well, I know there was a mention of another actor that possibly is thinking about it as well. I mean, technically though, we need this. We need this for these companies to maybe stop and rethink what they've been doing.
Right.
Maybe this kind of stuff. Maybe if they're having their own people that are working on their movies start coming after them, maybe they'll start seeing things in a different light. I'm not holding out a lot of hope from that, but it would be just nice to see them taking down a few pegs.
Yeah.
Well, it certainly didn't matter when their writers came after him. Sorry, go ahead.
Right. No. I was actually going to say, what do you think? So go for it.
Oh, no. So the thing is, if these get settled out of court, it's not going to make that much of a difference. I mean, Jayne Theory can correct me on this. If it gets settled out of court, it's not going to make that much of a difference because these aren't going to be like the landmark cases that everybody is hoping that they might be when it comes to streaming services and brick and mortar stuff and such. But what I see sort of happening is she's trying to go for potential loss of profits, and there's no grounds for that. Anything that has existed, like all precedent for such claims have always been like tossed out. Like they hold no water, basically.
Right.
But if she's going for this from the standpoint that the studio was like, this is why I laughed when I saw a gendered character attack. If she's going to approach this as they tried to undercut her film because she was a female lead, and they thought that with all of the backlash from Captain Marvel that they needed to sort of, undermine what they were going to pay her versus their return. That's a completely different story than they didn't pay me the money that I'm owed because it came out because they did a simultaneous release. Those are two very different arguments. So it's going to depend really how they approach this. But I agree with with what Jayne said. The way that they're going about this, you can't sue for, imaginary losses. That doesn't happen.
That's a good point.
And then,
it does kind of happen though. Like with slander, like you're suing for what you could have made if
But you're talking like defamation of character.
Yeah, defamation of character, right? Yeah,
and like
that is imaginary money.
Yeah, and this has nothing to do with that, though. Thanks for bringing that up.
That wasn't my point. My point was that you can sue for imaginary money.
We all know that.
Like what money would have been made if something happened.
A lot of times, though, that's punitive damages.
Yeah,
like it's more you're being punished for ruining this person's reputation. Right. Now, if it costs them a contract or it costs them a deal, then that's money they can prove.
And yes, could I ask a question too, and maybe cultural note, like legally though, Jayne, like so she's suing because they released it not in theaters, but they moved this how many different times because they tried to release it in theaters, and they've gotten to a point where they're going to lose so much money on a movie that they would almost have to just shelve that they had to do this. Like that could be their argument, right? Culture, what do you think? Because you haven't said much, but I know you've been on this.
I think Jayne covered it pretty in depth. Tortious interference is what I think. Is that tortious interference? So I mean, look. There is no established precedent. Both Jayne and Lady Gravemaster talked about that. For them to neither side could say what this film could have earned in 2019. They have an idea, and that's part of the problem in what was released in the statement, not necessarily in the suit, where the agent, the most powerful agent in the world at CAA, Mr. Lord, where he's talking about. These films consistently earn over $1 billion, but if you look over the solo films, they don't earn $1 billion. That's like a rarity, and it was artificially created. This is where Discovery would really been bad for Disney, or would be bad for Disney. Is how did they get to $1 billion with Captain Marvel? And I mean, there's a lot of things you could ask for in Discovery that could be quite embarrassing.
Oh, so what you're saying, this could open the books big time.
Well, a lot of that depends. But
on the judge?
I don't believe that it would ever get that far. I think, and I guarantee Jayne thinks the same thing. Well, no, I don't. I believe Jayne would think the same thing. It's going to settle. Nobody, and that's if Disney decides to hold their ground and they can preclude or hold close anything that's asked for that would compromise their trade secrets or whatever, how they market or whatever, then maybe they'd be all right. But there's nothing that would suggest they'd be able to do that. Again, not being an attorney, what I would say is, there's never been anybody that there's never been any case like this that I even think ever happened. This is why this is so kind of out of left field. Mm-hmm. And of course they're tuning it up as a chick thing, as a gendered thing.
Well, that's what we're about to read about.
Hey, culture, I want to ask you something. Now, I know we've all talked about this before, how a lot of these companies come down on these actors and they tell them to say certain things that they don't normally, I guess, believe in. Right. Do you think that maybe somewhere in this suit is something about how Disney forced her to say certain things about characters and how it was racist and everything like that, and she feels that somehow this actually decreased the earnings that she could have gotten?
She could go down that road, but again, she won't, because she
said the exact opposite in the document. She talked about how she promoted it, and she wants to be paid for that.
Well, and also she's a true believer.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
So, I mean, all right. Do anything about a zealot, which is kind of what you have to be part of this cult.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Here we go. Time Up, Reframe, and Women in Film have issued a joint statement today voicing their support for actor Scarlett Johansson and labeling Disney's attempt to counter her recent lawsuit against the company as a gender character attack. Although they make it clear that we take no position on the business issues addressed in the suit, in which Johansson alleged that Disney breached their contract by simultaneously releasing Black Widow in theaters and on Disney Plus streaming service, impacted her ability to profit from the film. The groups do stand firmly against the Disney statement released in response, which sought to paint Johansson as both greedy and insensitive for launching her complaint. These gender character attacks, the joint statement continues, has no place in business dispute and contributes to an environment in which women and girls are perceived as less able than men to protect their own interests without facing ad hominem criticism.
But see, apparently they didn't read the lawsuit, because that's exactly what she says about Disney. They're just throwing it back at her.
Okay. So what was the statement? I don't see it here.
I think it's at the bottom. Maybe.
Is it at the bottom?
Or no, it's not on that one.
Disney statement?
I think that's the link, isn't it, right there?
Oh, let me check. That's
maybe it isn't.
Just side issued a counter. Let's see. Disney attempts to counter her lawsuit against the company. That might be it. Let's just quickly look at that and see if that's it. Because I kind of want to hear what they said. Because
it was really snarky.
Was it really snarky, huh? Okay. If someone can find it, bring it up.
Right there in front of you.
Oh, right there in front of you.
Right there, the link.
Right here?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. The Walt Disney in court filing, blah, blah. There is no merit whatsoever to this filing, Disney said in an unusually fiery statement. The lawsuit is especially sad and distressing in its callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effect of the COVID-19 pandemic. Is that all they said?
No, you have to click the link.
What link now? More links?
Variety has shared a statement. Come on, click it, Scott.
Where? Variety.
Don't be a Martigan. It's right in front of you.
Popular.
I think he clicked on something and it opened up a new window.
Yeah, and we can't see it.
Oh, you guys aren't there with me. Hold on.
Nope.
All right. Boom. I just realized it opened up a new window, guys. So don't worry about it. I got you.
My God.
I'm glad I figured that out.
Someone said that.
No, I'm really happy about this. There we go. So this is what I'm seeing right here. This is it.
Okay, so I have it. I can hang on. I'll share my screen really quick.
Awesome.
Maybe it'll be easier for you to read it.
Teamwork.
Twitter pic.
Teamwork.
Okay. I know how to do this. I can do this.
You can do
it. Said anything.
Okay, there was a little bit extra. The release of Black Widow on Disney Plus with Premier Access has significantly enhanced her ability to earn additional compensation on top of the $20 million she has received to date. So
that's not gendered.
Oh yeah, wait. Where's the gender?
Where's the gendered part?
Was it the pronoun use? Because they said her.
Oh shit.
She, her.
Yep.
Her. I mean,
it's
to my knowledge, she's never identified as anything other than she, her.
Well,
that's
then what
not
are they
cool.
basing their gendered character attack? It's a big
No,
just
they're not,
simply
dude.
because
This is a group of people that have lost steam in their bullshit movement. Right?
Mhm.
You know, believe all bullshit is just not
this is
resonating with people anymore.
Right.
Yeah, because this is from the Me Too Time's Up era.
Yeah.
They just need something to say.
Dick, whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
they just need something to get attention onto them.
You know, it's the funniest part. It was there in that article the whole time. Oh, but
hindsight's
she,
2020. It's okay.
Yeah, a lot about Mad Martigan, but
what? Huh? He's not even paying attention, and you're
That's
supporting him.
I'm trying to support him.
Yeah. She had a response. Okay, so her response, Scarlet has been Disney's partner on 9 movies, which
That's not her response. That's her agent's response. That's Mr. Lord.
Billy Lord.
So does he speak for her?
but it has an E at the end too.
Because I kind of think he speaks for her, right?
Okay, let's be semantic about it.
Well, because they're saying Scarlett Johansson's agent accuses Disney of tempting her. Damn it, you're right. All right, let's see what the agent said. Representative Billy Lord said, oh no, father of actress Billy Lord, Scarlett has been a Disney partner on 9 movies, which have earned Disney and its shareholder billions.
Sorry, it's the fact that he words it as if she was the main one responsible for the billions.
Yeah, no, she was part of a team that contributed to property that made billions of dollars, but that also, like, if you had, like, I wish I had numbers before we came on the stream because it'd take me way too long to find, but I guarantee you, if we line up Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Hawkman, and Black Widow figures,
Hawkeye.
lunches,
Hawkeye.
Hawkman.
Hawkman's DC.
I know, I love Hawkman. We'll get into that later. I love Hawkman. Anyway, Hawkeye. Sorry. But yeah, Hawkeye and Black Widow. If we lined them all up for, everything from birthday plates to freaking $1,000 whatever statuettes,
right?
You're gonna see that her character doesn't sell as well. Like, she has not contributed to the merchandising as much. It's just plain basic facts. And so if she wants to play that card, like if that is what Mr. Lord wants to do, and be like, she's contributed to these properties that have, have earned billions. Okay, let's break it down.
So is the best boy.
I mean, she basically claimed to be responsible for the entire.
It's true.
Essentially, yeah. Like, last I checked, Iron Man. Well, okay, fine. Blade is the reason that the Marvel Universe exists, but
100%.
Iron Man is the reason the MCU is what it is. So. I mean, it's like, that's not even.
I mean, Elektra really was powerful.
What?
That was also DC.
No,
Elektra's Marvel.
No,
that was a spinoff from Daredevil, the Ben Affleck one.
I don't even know if Marvel was involved in the making of that, though. I can't remember. So you're correct.
Marvel was involved in a lot of those films. They were also involved with early Spider-Man movies and early Captain America movies that came out way before the Marvel Cinematic Universe was
mainly
established.
mainly through Avi Arad.
Wow,
we're actually
Jesus
watching
Christ,
the 1990. We're watching the 1990 Captain America on Street Smots. We just watched part 1 today. You should go check it out. It's a lot of fun. All right.
Okay, so like rewinding way back.
Yeah, please.
Do we think that like Donner Superman, or do we think that the Batman Detective Batman had more to do with evolution?
I would say Superman.
You think Superman did?
I would say Batman.
Thank you. All All right, Matt, I might take up for you just yet.
Yeah. What are you talking? Are you talking Batman comics or Batman? No. Which Batman movie? Which Batman show?
Not the movie.
The show Adam West?
Yep, Adam West Batman.
That was huge.
Right?
I wonder if Adam West Batman helped with the creation of Superman, like them allowing a movie to come out, because that was popular, but only for a few years. But the Superman movie was a blockbuster that they weren't prepared for. Like, they didn't realize how big of a hit that was going to be. And I would say it was Superman, but I understand why you would think Adam West, because I freaking love that show.
Yeah, but everything that came before it, Scott, was leading to it, though. They were heading in that direction. And if it wasn't for some of those earlier shows,
right?
Who knows if they ever would have dusted Superman off and tried to make it into
what about
film.
I forget Reeves from the TV show Reeves, but George Reeves. That Superman was huge. You know, like I used to watch that in reruns as a kid.
Though, Ben Affleck played him in a movie, by the way, so he was kind of Superman and Batman.
Yes.
But so the thing is, like, if you compare George Reeves, if you compare George Reeves' Superman with Adam West Batman will more people are familiar with it and recognize it today as opposed to George Reeves' Superman, and that is actually because Christopher Reeve, like, their names are so similar that, and Christopher Reeve is so iconic that George Reeves sort of gets like confused for his father, and like it's hilarious some of the stuff that you
people think they're related.
Yeah. All the time. And so so there's a whole bunch of like stuff that goes into that. So I think that's why most people more easily recognize Adam West's Batman than they do George Reeves' Superman, because when they hear Reeve, they like automatically go to Christopher Reeve and Donner Superman. But so it's just fascinating to see like where it all started, because I guarantee you Adam West and Christopher Reeve were not pulling in $20 million in contracts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow. Right. Nor should they have.
No.
Let's rewind just a bit, because you wanted to talk numbers and I pulled them up.
Nice.
Starting for Iron Man. We'll start with adjusted domestic box office, which includes North America, such as the United States and Canada.
Okay.
Right?
This includes inflation, right?
Yes, this is adjusted for inflation.
Okay.
So you have leading the pack, of course, adjusted for inflation, Captain Marvel at 426 million. And we can go into the discussion as to how that was achieved, but there's no need. We've quibbled over that enough. The second highest film for adjusted for inflation since the beginning of the current MCU was Iron Man in 2008 at 406,442,000. The third place finisher here in the solo films now, and I didn't even pull out Thor, by the way. I didn't whip out Thor.
Solo lost money.
Doctor Strange at 246,262,000 adjusted for inflation, which is in 2016. In 2015, Ant-Man, a little known character to most people, got 195,800,000 adjusted for inflation from 2015. Current day domestic box office to date, adjusted for inflation, which although we should probably pay attention to that because it's going to be $5 difference, or 5 cents different every single month. But anyway,
right.
It is 162,574,000, putting it firmly in 5th place on this list. And that's of the 5 films that I did just now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Black Widow basically doesn't really have anything to stand on for you.
Well, look, Lady Gravemaster, let me ask you this question. I'm sorry, Culture, but okay. Do you think that was a movie about Black Widow, or was that a movie to introduce her sister, the frumpy Black Widow?
Yes.
I really liked her.
What I'm saying is you go from Black Widow, who uses sexuality and men's belief that a woman couldn't be that deadly, to her advantage, and then you go to the one that's wearing a white, looked like MC Hammer pants.
That's fine. I thought she was funny.
Well, to be fair, Scott,
she was funny.
Well, to be fair, Scott, you're going from a character that was already well known and established 9 films beforehand to a completely new character taking over the mantle.
She was. What I'm trying to say is they're Black Widows.
It's not her mission in this movie though to be that character.
Exactly.
So you don't think? Okay, I think she's setting up the idea of.
I agree with you.
Do you understand where I'm going?
There is another.
She's definitely the least or the less feminine of the two, but arguably in this case, that wasn't her mission to be dressed that way.
I understand that.
I shared the numbers here, and there's some other numbers I want to bring to everyone's attention. First of all, the number of theaters that each film was released in, right? Captain Marvel was released on more theater screens and had more theatrical showings than any other film on this list, and it's not quite hardly close, even though Iron Man had 1,000 less theatrical engagements, right?
Whoa, but Black Widow comes in pretty close.
That's my point. Black Widow is the second highest number of theaters that
Holy crap.
And that's just in the short window that they're now running the theatrical film releases in. The other reason that this film is going to suffer and lose probably close to $100 million is because of the fact that by the time this is said and done, I doubt they'll have more than 14,000 theatrical engagements. Maybe I could be wrong. I doubt they'll have less than. I think they'll have 20,000 or less theatrical engagements.
Definitely
by the end of the window.
Definitely
because again, I mean, it went from 4160 at opening, right, to 4275. It went up 115 theaters. This is just the domestic, by the way, just the domestic, right? And then so far it's had 12,000 in just how many weeks? 3-4 weeks.
Well, this is and another thing. This movie would have made more money. Like, look, she should have had the first movie of any of the females. She should have had the first movie. Yeah. If you put her between the two, Infinity War and Endgame, like you did Captain Marvel, she would have sold 40 to 45,000 tickets.
And you say Scott, I mean, they definitely should have did this earlier because you know what? Number one, I will give Disney props there for their promotion of Black Widow through these films, because Black Widow was never a very popular character in the comic book. She was always just a minor member of the team, and the fact that they actually put her on a grander stage and made her to look like more than what she was actually quite commendable. And if they would have capitalized on this much sooner, they probably could have had a decent turnaround on this one, but they waited until after they pushed all the agenda-driven nonsense that nobody wanted in these movies. And now they're trying to come on the back end saying, well, this is what the fans wanted, let's give it to them. Well, you're a little bit too late. You should have been a little bit faster to get to the party.
Yeah. Lady Gravemaster, were you going to say something?
I was simply going to say, so the Disney's response was, they're of course blaming COVID-19 for the turn, like that's going to be their go-to,
of course,
complaint. But so there is a film that actually comes out this week. Its opening weekend is this weekend, and it's called Stillwater with Matt Damon.
Oh, we're going to talk about that.
Matt Damon. But I have family in Oklahoma, and they are all they are extremely pumped. They bought their tickets like a month ago. And so I have a cousin that went last night and a brother-in-law that went to the earlier showing of this evening. So he should be getting out like any minute. But my cousin that went last night said that it's not anything like she was expecting.
Okay.
And she really, really liked it, and she's going to go see it again, and she's going to bring her boyfriend and his dad because they are his dad is a safety man and her boyfriend is a roughneck. So they're in the oil industry.
See, so I was really worried.
Really, it's on good word of mouth. Pretty much.
I was really worried that Matt Damon was going to really progress up. You know what I mean? Like it was all going to be a message against the oil industry.
Oh,
that's what they were kind of that's what they were worried about. They were worried that it would, but he apparently he spent time with actual roughnecks and like actually went out to these people's like homes and stuff and like met
said
them.
some really nice stuff about them too.
Yeah,
well, they're just the workers. Why would they be upset with them? I mean, you can be upset with the industry and not be upset with the people who work in it.
Right.
Not
if you're
like.
Say that again, Culture?
Not if you're part of the cult.
Well, you know, like if Matt Damon even said like he expected something different and he realized that they had a lot in common when he got to meet these people. When you burst the bubble and actually go and meet people, that's kind of amazing that you realize that not everybody's like Hollywood. You know, but we all do want our kids to have better lives and just want to, you know, have a job that could pay for a house and stuff like that. It's amazing, isn't it? It's crazy. Mm-hmm. This is what I got confused about. Amanda Knox blasts Matt Damon's drama Stillwater for profiting off her story. Wasn't Amanda Knox the one who got kidnapped? Like
what?
What?
Who's Amanda Knox again? I thought didn't she get like kidnapped or something, or did somebody die? I don't remember exactly her story, so I apologize.
She's the American who got
in Italy.
Murder in Italy.
That's
So like so this movie is about him being a dad in the oil field who fights for his daughter, and so now Amanda Knox is saying that they're profiting off of what happened to her. She was, if I remember correctly, she was acquitted.
Right. Right. Well, she spent some time.
She was convicted.
Yeah, she was convicted at first.
Yes, I believe, but I know she got acquitted because she's home now, obviously.
She was acquitted after at some point.
Of her it was like her girlfriend or her roommate or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was her roommate she was accused of killing.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what she's claiming that they
stole her. See, I didn't even know what Stillwater was about. So
is it about her or is it about her dad?
Well, it's about the dad, but see, it says it right here. Tom McCarthy's new drama Stillwater stars Matt Damon as the Midwestern father of a college student, played by little Abigail Breslin, who was Little Miss Sunshine, guys, who is in a European prison after being convicted of murder.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, that could be anybody's story. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference between like being inspired by something and then like completely hijacking it, Disney, and profiting off of it. So
right. I mean, the
to be honest, this could have been like the biggest criticism I heard of this film prior to it coming out this weekend is that it was a knockoff of Taken.
Okay, that makes sense. Except for the dad. Okay, so but this is the part where I think she has her argument. The McCarthy, this is his movie. I followed the case very closely when it was playing out. I mean, how couldn't you? It was gripping. So she probably took that and it's like, they're using it. So, but the real Knox isn't pleased by the comparison. In a blistering series of tweets, the journalist, who was freed from prison in 2011 and fully exonerated in 2015. You just got to give me a second. I'll get the word. Accused the filmmakers of profiting off of her lived experience. Does my name belong to me? My face? What about my life? Writes Knox. I return to these questions because others continue to profit off my name, face, and story without my consent.
Okay. Jayne can interject and call me out and tell me that I'm wrong by saying this, but like just because first of all, lived experience is the stupidest thing I think I've heard in a long time because you can't experience something if you don't live through it. Like you can't be like, I don't think any of us here could be like, oh yes, when I experienced the Spanish flu. Right. Like pretty sure no one on this panel can claim that the Spanish flu pandemic. Right. Anyway.
But when you also real quick, when you say lived experience, that can mean anybody could have lived these experiences. It's just your version of it. There's probably a lot of kids that got caught. Go ahead, please.
Oh no, I was gonna say like her story, like it's like this. It's not like she, this stuff happened to her in the public eye. This is no different than everything that like. All the Jean-Benet Ramsey, oh my God, the documentaries, the stories, the spin, like everything that happened because of Jean-Benet, like
it's almost like she doesn't know how stories work.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
By the way, like if I read the Wikipedia of the Spanish flu, I can't say that it's my red experience.
Right. Exactly. And I was Liger fan. I was thinking of Elizabeth Smart. Thank you. But this is, there's how many college students go to Europe and something terrible happens?
Not enough.
Like there must be girls that you're an ass have gotten, caught up with. I feel like Taken is one
trafficking.
Of those. Right.
Yeah,
trafficking.
Human trafficking is a huge, on average in a year, 350 million children are trafficked through America.
Right.
And
Makes me sick.
We've all heard the stories of young people and even older people getting caught up in foreign countries for whatever reason, and their family members here trying to get them back.
Yep.
Right.
I mean, this is a common story. This isn't just her story. And every story is based on, if you go back far enough, something that happened to someone. So we can't tell stories anymore. I mean,
right. That's the thing.
Sense.
That's the thing.
Has no one approached her about selling the rights to her story?
I believe there was like a, probably Alyssa Milano was in some like cheesy Hallmark fucking version of this. And she's just pissed that she's not going to, have an Academy Award winner playing part of the role. I really believe that. Like, if she was smart, she could have sold this and made millions. And I know she tried to. At least I think. I can't say I know for a fact, but I swear there was movies about it that she was involved in. So
but that's the thing. It sounds like he is creating a different, inspired by her, but creating a different story with a different angle. And maybe with a different focus, like what a parent experiences when their child is caught overseas and they can't get them back.
Right.
And that's what a community goes through when someone from there is stuck in another country and they can't get back and they don't know what's going to happen to them. No. Even what the country goes through when we find out about these stories, that's something we don't see every day. So if he's done that much to change it and to change the focus, then it isn't her story that's being told.
Well, I think he did the best thing by putting the focus on the man and not this girl. Like, kudos to that.
That's another thing.
It's about his struggle because he's a dad trying to get his daughter back, and I guess they're not on good terms. But it's just going to be really interesting. Because I would argue that Matt Damon is a bigger star than ScarJo.
Oh, definitely,
easily.
Okay, but so here's the thing. So Matt Damon is a bigger star than ScarJo, but the Marvel movies are obviously going to be bigger than, are going to have more recognition. There's what I'm looking for than this movie Stillwater or some other maybe more independent projects that these actors that these named actors might do.
Yeah.
So that's going to be sort of you have the name recognition of Matt Damon, but when you hear the word Stillwater, the first thing that comes to your mind or to most people's mind, I would assume
Oklahoma.
is literally still what is it a lake? Does the water not move? Is it still you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's and there is a Stillwater, New York, by the way, Mad. So
yeah, so shut up, man.
I never lived there. I lived in Oklahoma.
Let's say hi to the new person here. We have Gary from Nerdrotic or Christy. I don't know who it is. I knew it was going to be you son of a bitch. That's why I didn't say a word. You are good. You are good. You have people in the chat. Hail Neurotic. I'm like, it's Christy.
Sure did.
I knew it was you after that drunk thing you did. But that was good. Hopefully I get more people that stop by now that they think he's here. What's up, Christy? How you doing? The worst part is, Christy, is I sent him a link to this and said, if you're bored, because sometimes he'll jump on. So when I saw it, I'm like, oh, he actually jumped on. And then I was like, I know it's fucking her. I know it's her.
What about regular her?
No, it's fucking her. Christy, have you heard anything about the Amanda Knox, saying Stillwater? Have you heard of the movie Stillwater? Because you're from that area, aren't you? You're from Texas, right?
Yeah,
that's not Oklahoma.
Yeah,
that's not Oklahoma.
Oh, I'm sorry. They're right the fuck there. My bad. Panhandle. My bad.
Stillwater is actually way the hell across the Panhandle.
Lady
the opposite side of the state.
Okay, so you live in the South, correct?
God.
He lives in North Texas.
You live on the Gulf Coast, right?
Right.
I live in North Texas.
Somebody from New York is the same as somebody from New Jersey, Scott.
They are.
Make those comparisons.
Jersey and New York is the same to me.
No, New Jersey is much worse.
I know with the movie, it's from what I've seen in the trailer or the previews, that Matt Damon is supposed to play. The daughter is in jail or like on a trip like overseas. She gets in trouble, but I don't know to the extent. I mean, is it like the Amanda Knox, like a story of her life or something like a?
That's what she's saying. Now, can we find out? Is her dad a redneck? A redneck? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Is Amanda Knox from Oklahoma? Then there's a good chance
that's what I'm.
A redneck. Like,
yeah. I mean, did she go like Oklahoma? What state? Is OSU, right? Is in Stillwater?
Yeah, Oklahoma State University is in Stillwater, and then it's OU, University of Oklahoma, is in Oklahoma City.
Norman.
Norman, there you go.
Yes, Culture Casino. Can I help you?
No, you're fine.
I'm sorry. I'm from New England. I don't know your weird Southern rules.
No, you know what? New England is kind of like New York.
I mean,
actually, where I am from, they call it New Massachusetts. So I get that.
No, I mean you're definitely from New York. I mean, we can tell.
With what happened to her, in defense of what happened to her, and the trauma and all the bullshit, the media, I get where she's coming from. But sorry, I mean, look at all the shit. Like, you have a movie that Kristen Stewart is coming out with where she plays Princess Diana, and look how much I mean, that's just like any famous person out there that has had their life made into the movie. Look at God, all the shit the poor Sharon Tate would I mean, there have been movies that have been respectful, then there's been some that are just like, if you see the person who made it and the actors, like, you want to punch them because of how disrespectful it is.
Right.
So I feel for it, but it's not going to change.
It's not.
And the thing is, well, because the focus is the dad of this, so like it's what he's going through to help his daughter. It's not about what the daughter is going through while her dad comes to rescue her.
Yeah, no one cares.
So.
Oh, look, Seattle, Washington, Stillwater, Oklahoma, so alike. They're so close. Like, she's not even from the South. Like, how could she, like, a story about a father trying to save his daughter from being accused and prosecuted for something she did not do. I mean, what about the movie with what the hell's her name from Homeland and My So-Called Life, where they were drug smuggling?
Claire Danes.
Claire Danes, where she was in the movie where they were mules for a guy and got locked up in Singapore. I bet you that happened to. No, it wasn't Traffic. No, not at all. Traffic is a completely different story. But thank you.
They had drugs in it.
If we're gonna go that insane, what's that ScarJo movie, Lucy, where she's a mule?
I want that drug.
What? You want to be a computer? That's
whatever, dude. I would be awesome as a.
You're thinking of Limitless.
Oh, that's even better.
So Damon's character, I'm looking this little synopsis. It follows Damon's character as he travels to France after his daughter was in prison for murdering her lover. Okay. You think because of this one movie it happens with an American and all the hoopla about it? Unfortunately, there are people that come from other countries to murder people in said other countries. Exactly. I mean, that story is not different. I've watched 3 damn documentaries on Netflix about shit that, like, over the past week and a half. But I mean, it's just.
So they changed who she killed too.
And where she was and everything. Yeah. Every third Hallmark movie is about a woman that's accused of killing someone.
Yes.
Oh, no. I love it because it's always like.
Every third Hallmark movie is about a single mom who has lost her husband.
Right. I always. And don't you love it? And every.
It was often that she killed him.
And the best part about all those Hallmark movies, it's like my injured heart, the Debbie Smith movie. Savior of God, the Susan Sarandon movie. Like they always say it, and then
wasn't there one called The Burning Bed?
Midnight Oil, great song. Why do we sleep when our beds are burning?
And now we know why Scott is not a professional singer.
I will sing for you one day and it'll be gorgeous.
There's one called the Enema Tree, the Stephen Walton story.
Yes, yes. Or the Simp and Make a Sandwich, the Stephen Walton story. Storyman Jack for $5, who can't stop giving me money tonight for some reason. Stop. Oh my God, stop me. Yes, stop, man. But I think Disney should pay everyone. Can we take up a disappointment class action? Oh,
well,
God.
I was saying, that's what I was saying on the Rogue Entertainment stream earlier. I was like, I think we all got lawsuits against Disney for one reason or another. I'm trying to look for mine.
Jayne, can we sue Disney for destruction of childhood happiness? Like, can that be a thing?
I wish we could. The problem is that they did give us the Disney princesses, and they figure that's it. They're still riding on that.
Right.
Can I just say that, in my opinion, the last good movie that Disney made that wasn't like a Pixar or some, didn't have another studio involved in it,
Aladdin,
before they like wiggled their fingers in there. No, it's gonna surprise people, I think. But it was actually my favorite fairy tale growing up, and I was super mad when I found out all the changes they were gonna make, and I went into that movie determined to hate it, and I came out loving it. Which was The Princess and the Frog.
Oh, I know.
That was a true Disney villain. Like, it was so good.
I can't stand it.
It was so good. Like, I was like, so let me get this. When I heard what was happening, I'm like, let me get this straight. They are moving it to New Orleans. There is no golden ball, and she turns into a frog. I'm gonna hate this movie to its core. And then I loved it. Like, so this bridge was not as far as apart as you may think. So Amanda Knox can like go ahead and just keep her mouth closed, because Disney took an existing fairy tale and they literally took the name and made their own story with it.
That's
like,
all they've done.
Right. And
literally, that's all they done with all of them.
Pocahontas. Pocahontas, yeah, actually. Pocahontas was based on a real person.
None of them are accurate.
Pinocchio. Pinocchio's hung in a tree, by the way, at the end.
He's hung what? Okay.
He's hung in a tree.
Makini, what were you going to say?
Well, I think a lot of it is just... Oh, sorry.
Sorry, yeah, that was the one I was talking about, the burning bed. Yes, it was Farrah Fawcett.
Oh, Farrah Fawcett. Okay. Makini.
I think that was loosely based off of real event too.
Oh, okay.
But the
sewer ass
never went after them for taking their story away. It was similar, but it wasn't exactly the same. So
yeah, I think short of like that's like when people said that like D&D was ripping off Tolkien, and I was like, I'm going to disagree with that, because it's a tabletop game and it's inspired by the world. But like, Tolkien is the father of the modern fantasy genre.
Everybody rips him off, right?
Yeah. I'm like, if we're going to say that if you've got elves and dwarves and trolls in your story or your game or your movie or whatever, you're ripping off Tolkien, that's going to be a whole lot of ripping off going on.
Like Lady Gravemaster, they did the same thing with World of Warcraft, that everybody was claiming that World of Warcraft ripped off Warhammer.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And once again, it's the same thing. They took examples of what they did to create their own stuff, but they did it completely different. So,
Makini,
what's out as a turn-by-turn or a real RTS? So, I mean, it's a slightly different, but I mean, and then it turned into a lore. They had the lore. They developed the lore. What?
That's a lore.
It was a turn-by-turn.
You know what?
Makini draws. What were you going to say?
I think in Matt Damon's case, and I think with this situation, I think it's just it's a case of there's a clear difference between something that was clearly like a ripoff or something that was clearly inspired by. I think in this case, it was clearly inspired by those events, and it wasn't a direct ripoff. So I don't think she has anything.
But right, and that's what she's trying to say, Makini, is because the creator, the writer, whoever the writer, I believe McCarthy is, he said that he was enthralled by her story, like it was gripping. She's taking that and running with it. That's her excuse to say, oh, well, he said that, then he's ripping me off. You can be like George R. R. Martin has said in the past, like, taking from one person is plagiarism. Taking from 1,000 is just, I forgot exactly how
I think it's inspiration or something.
Inspiration.
Thank you. Paul
God,
Hogan
that was good.
inspired. Like there was a real Crocodile Dundee guy. Yeah, he was inspired by him. By the way, it did not turn out well for the real one. A lot of meth and gun violence.
I think it's a clear definition.
Great
I think
story.
she is clearly just misconstruing it because Damon took a lot of inspiration from that, meaning that she needs to get all the credit for.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a different. There's a big difference in that. You could say that, I was inspired. The pieces I done have been inspired by somebody else's work, but I think they should take all the credit for it, though.
Yeah, no, and like that's when you. So if this movie had come out and he hadn't made a comment about how he, found that case gripping or he followed it or whatnot. So I was really young and I still remember that being plastered everywhere. It was like a huge deal. So it would be almost you would have a harder time finding someone who didn't hear about that story than someone who did. Like if you went and asked 100 people, you'd be lucky if one of them said they had no idea who Amanda Knox was or what was going on at that point in time.
Right.
So it's stuff like that. So he was just being like honest and, probably alluding to something that maybe helped inspire part of the film potentially.
Well,
no idea.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I was going to say it's basically just really inspired by her work to create something and still making it of his own, really.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and that's like, okay, so you can all thank Az for this recent obsession of mine. I never thought I would care about the Royals at all, but because Megan wants to run for president, which I think is ridiculous.
Wait, whoa, back up, back up.
Yes,
when did that happen?
Oh, she's been saying that forever. That's why she wanted a job with Disney. She wanted to be a Marvel superhero because she thought that the on-screen presence would help her notoriety and recognition, to boost her.
It's not how it works. We just hide.
You have to be an American. You have to be born in this country.
I'm just letting. She was.
She was born in this country.
Yeah, she's an American citizen. Yeah, so that's why
we elected a talk show host. It's possible.
I know, but that was her whole plan. That's why she didn't renounce her American citizenship when she married the prince. There's this whole that's an entire 3-hour show in and of its own. But
dude, she's destroying them. She is destroying them from the inside.
Destroying everything she touches.
No, she's not. No. Y'all misconstrue that. She's not destroying them. She's destroying her life with Harry and their kids and how she's being portrayed and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but she's doing this on her own.
I think people don't blame Harry enough either, though, because he has actual grievances against the family who hated and put his mother through hell.
Right.
So I don't have any sympathy for them whatsoever, and I think that he is a big part of it too. He could have shut this down a long time ago.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants them to go through it.
Yeah, Harry is a whole other
can of worms.
I mean, if he
factory full of can of worms.
Yeah, I know, right?
Which one's the fun one that dresses up like a nut?
That was him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I like
the thing that really made me super cautious of her, because you're an American is marrying a British royal, isn't that hilarious? This is the Disney princess love story that everybody dreams about or whatever.
Then you find out it's all a lie.
Princess Bride.
Well, then you listen to her and she's like, well, I grew up in America, so I didn't know anything about the royals.
Bullshit.
All right. I'm American too. If I don't know, do I follow them religiously or whatever? No, but do I know who Prince William and Prince Harry are? Of course I do, because I remember I was super little when the whole stuff with Princess Diana popped off. Right. And it devastated the world. So there's no way you didn't hear about that. And she's over here claiming that she knows nothing about the royals, nothing about their history, nothing about all of that. And I was like,
so you're a moron.
She's talking out of her ass.
I think
what
she was saying was she didn't know the culture. And even with Princess Diana, they just threw her to the wolves.
Yeah,
it's not like they trained her. It's not like they gave her time to adjust either. It's the only person who really had the time to become accustomed to the way they live and their insanity.
Middleton.
It is Middleton. Yeah,
that's her name, right?
What are y'all talking about? King Ralph had it down in the first act. First act done. King Ralph had that shit figured out.
Well, she just stole his story, so I mean, but all right, enough about the royals.
Okay, can I ask about the Matt Damon movie Stillwater? I think it's called.
Okay.
Okay, so it's from the point of view of the father and his experience and him trying to help his daughter.
Hell
I'm baffled.
That's how we all feel. That's how we all feel.
I see it. Yeah, it's just from what I see it. If it was like a direct translation, then okay, then she's definitely has a case. But it's not. It's that he was inspired by those events and what she went through, and made something of his own, something that would work in the concept of the film he's trying to set up. He still made it his own.
We don't even know if for sure that he's inspired by those events, because those kind of events happen all the time. It could have been another series of events that was very similar that happened.
It doesn't even matter, because if she's going to win in a lawsuit, she has to show story beat by story beat how it matched her story.
Right. The thing is that nothing is original anymore these days. And I'm being blatantly honest. Nothing is original anymore.
Like Picard said, there's no idea that's so fantastic that it hasn't already been thought up before. Like the cart.
Yeah, it's just people tell it better than others.
A lot of it is really
Descartes.
How even what I want to put out is not original, but it really is it really comes down to execution, how you execute it, how you can still make aspects that feel very original, that feel personal to you. Right. Yeah. And I think in this case, he definitely made it personal for him and made it work for him and work for the story at hand, what he was trying to convey.
Yeah.
She is only doing this because why? Who the fuck has thought of Amanda Knox since he, I don't know, was killing people in Italy?
In a while.
It's the same thing. Sorry.
Really quickly, what else is important? Peter Jackson almost killed a hobbit.
Well, it's like what we it's like what we were covering earlier with Frank Miller and what's her name. It's clear that she's doing this for attention.
Yes,
she's doing this to get, because no one's going to. It's this thing that if she wins this case, everybody's gonna ignore Matt Damon for the rest of his life, and they're gonna all flock to her. Even if she did win the case, they still aren't gonna flock to her.
She doesn't even want that. All she wants is money.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
No, she's not even bringing a case, right? She's just saying this is just like my story. She's just complaining.
She's doing the Justice. She's the
Jussie Smollett.
Yeah, the Jussie Smollett approach, where you just make accusations. Yeah, you just make accusations in the press, and
then lie to
and then cash in on that.
Right, and hope no one actually looks into it.
And in the cases for most people nowadays, most celebrities and public figure nowadays is cashing in on victimhood.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the thing is, like, when you're experienced. Sorry, I'll stop.
No, go.
No, go ahead.
Last thought on it.
Okay. Well, when your experience of like cops and investigators is like TV, or like the bumbling, bumbling police officers who can't get anything right in shows or movies, and they'll like go ask questions, but then they just never show up again. If that's what you think the police actually do, then I'm sure that this kind of stuff, like falsifying, police like attacks or whatever, probably sounds like a great idea, because there's no way they can find out. It's not like everybody has a camera with them 24/7 now or anything.
Exactly.
Like, no, this will be great. I'll get the publicity from it, and it'll blow up, and it'll be great. You got publicity, all right, but not what you were hoping, because oh my god, look at that. Cops actually do their due diligence. Who'd have thunk? All right, I'm done.
Right.
Yeah, because you can't paint. Yeah, because you think you can paint all cops as this one thing, and you're dead wrong. And we've seen that. We're seeing that. We're continuing to see this crap. Sorry,
man. Trust me, we're looking for a way out of it. Like, if we can encode it, if we can kick that shit, we're gonna kick it.
Like, I'm all for body cams. I am all for the idea about cams.
Oh no, not me. I am not a fan of body cams.
I am body cams.
Yeah, record it all.
Cameras everywhere.
Record it all.
I think it limits the available, like, the options for a police officer, because I was a cop for like 8 years. And I think
limits their options to the Constitution?
Huh?
Limits their options to the Constitution?
No, just limits their options of like if I get a guy, I bust him, whatever, and he has like a dime bag, like I can just stomp that shit out. We can call it a day and go on our way. But if I am being recorded though, that could come back and hurt me like through the department, because they may say, well, we only look at it for your safety and the safety of others, not discipline. Shit.
Well, you shouldn't let it go, but you can, as a citizen, decide to write to your congressman and say this is an idiotic law that you're making us enforce.
That you don't follow yourself.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes,
right.
No.
Sorry if I derailed it there.
No, this is a good
People shouldn't
conversation.
break the law, just go and get in touch with the people who actually wrote it.
But and it just really comes down to, you're just doing this for money. You don't have a case. You're just doing this just because Matt Damon is a huge name, and you could bank off of that by pretending or playing like he stole your ideas.
Because Matt Damon's
she doesn't necessarily even have to get anything out of this to get something out of it. Because just having her name associated with his, even in a frivolous lawsuit, is going to give her some attention. So
the same way we saw with the case of Frank Miller. Their Kickstarter blew up.
Right.
Yep.
Right. How much money did she make?
I think it was like 71 grand or something.
Right. I mean, that's all you need right now is you need that attention in social media, whatever project you're working on. So now look at, we just talked about Amanda. I was about to say Amanda Bynes, Amanda Knox for the last half hour easily. And when was the last time any of you thought of her?
She won't be remembered.
But I said it better.
I said it better. I'll say this again.
Thank you.
When Matt Damon passes, we'll remember her, and we'll remember her for all the good races, for all the good reasons.
We're gonna think.
When
okay,
she passes. Well, most of us won't even remember her, or many of us probably won't remember.
Wait a minute. No, when Matt Damon dies, we'll remember him.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay, you said her.
Oh, no, yeah. Sorry about that.
I thought you. I got so confused.
Matt Damon.
I thought you were gonna be like Matt.
Oh no! What's Amanda Knox up to?
Yeah, check out if she's still okay.
I thought he was saying that Matt Damon changed his pronouns.
No, but what I'm saying is that it's the same case with Frank Miller. Is that when you have a huge figure like Frank Miller, Matt Damon, when they pass, people will remember them, especially remember them for all the good they've done, and for all the good memories. But when they appease people, when they pass, either they'll be remembered for the bad reasons or will be forgotten.
Yeah. So let's jump into this. I already X'd out of it. Peter Jackson got pressured from above to kill a hobbit. Okay.
Sure.
He's a hobbitist.
Well, no, but he stuck to his freaking guns because that's what the material that he was turning into a movie said, that they all made it. They all made it to the end. Okay. So this is my question. You got people like Kevin.
What's the problem with that?
Well,
what was the problem with that? Apparently, so he did the anti-Kevin Smith. Okay.
Anti-Kevin Smith. Amazon's Lord of the Rings is going to have nudity, even though we have one of the most Christian writers of fantasy probably ever made sure not to show nudity for that reason.
Well, he wrote it, so he didn't add pictures. What do you mean he didn't show nudity?
He could have fucking drew one.
Yeah.
Yes.
A map.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what
cities
he
to the map.
started.
He could have put naked beach here.
Okay, so Scott, do you remember that? Do you remember that article that we covered a few weeks ago on The Guardian?
That one was great.
That Frodo and the other characters should be gay, it's that whole just because two characters were in the water naked doesn't mean they're gay,
right? Or
that sounds pretty gay, bro.
No,
dude, me and you
don't know.
You come up, we will go in the pool naked, and we'll show you how not gay it is. No, this is. But what I'm saying is, in World War I, these guys were in the trenches. They spent all their time together. Maybe they brushed each other's hair. I don't know. But what he was trying to show was camaraderie with brothers. Guys being able to say, okay, we haven't bathed in months. I'm fucking getting clean. Me and Culture jumping in here naked. He's going to get my back. I'll get his. Doesn't make it gay.
Okay.
I mean,
what's the name of the first book?
Fellowship.
There you go.
Look, I spent a lot of time in a lot of close quarters with a group of guys, and it was pretty fucking gay.
Right. Well, but did you do any gay stuff?
Define gay. Like, if it's not your ass, it's not gay to begin with.
No.
Okay.
I leave for
Martigan, you missed
minutes. What the
you
hell?
are missing what we're trying to say here.
You know how many times somebody was like, "Oh, my balls."
Okay, no. So
Wow.
It was the army. Like, that's all you saw was
it
balls.
goes
I was
back
in the
to
Marine Corps, so
Yeah.
I definitely got you beat, Mad. Don't you worry.
We talked about this before.
Yes.
About
Marine Corps
balls
better
in the
in
military.
every way, shape, and
Matt.
form.
Matt.
Not even a thing. No.
There's a thing going on where two male characters, they can't have a bromance without assuming
Demance.
it's gay. Exactly.
But they can't. Like, this is like, see,
They're not allowed to have like a friendship.
This is coming from people. This is coming from people who have no lived experience. They have no life experience. They've not been. They've not done anything with it. I'll let you read your super, and then I'll continue because this rant might.
Pastor G, my man, for $5. You brought him here, so thank you. Got to turn in for the night. Thank you, Lady Gravemaster, for introducing me to this channel. I just subscribed. Here's a little support. God bless. Thank you so much, dude.
Thanks, Pastor G. I'm glad you can make it.
I really appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. Don't worry about Mad, but everybody else on the panel, definitely.
I was about to say something too.
Like dickish. I know you were, so I let it go. And next time you're driving through New England, let me know, man. We'll get coffee.
If Mad was in the army, so if it's dickish, it's gonna be micro dickish at the very most.
Oh my God! And it's all over your mouth. What?
Anyway,
you said you were doing gay stuff.
No, I did not.
You said you were
unclear on
totally.
the definition.
Thank you, Jayne.
I'm pretty sure I was clear on that definition.
You said everything was gay that we did.
Yeah, everything's gay.
So because there was no butt stuff, like.
I didn't say there wasn't any butt
stuff.
Guys! I said it wasn't gay if it's not. It's not gay if it's not.
You clean my gun, I'll clean yours.
Martigan.
Okay.
I'm being sick. Before I let Lady Gravemaster continue, I want to bring this up.
Yeah.
There are old Italian traditions where guys will actually do kiss each other to show that level camaraderie. Those are old traditions.
Yeah,
dude. You can go back all the way to Rome. Yeah.
No,
I don't think I've ever met a straight Italian.
Let me just say this. I grew up, my mom is a Sicilian. I grew up like in an Italian household pretty much. My grandparents, kiss on the cheek. I dated a girl in high school, really sweet girl. She was half Italian. And the first time like her relatives came over, her brothers who were like dudes, like these guys were like, you know, they intimidated me at the time. Like the uncle came in and it was kiss on the lips. I did not know what to do with myself. I was like, I am very confused right now.
Just kissed them.
But that's what we're saying. Like now people would consider that gay, and it's not, because it's just a sign of affection between family. Now you got Frodo and you got Sam. These guys are going on a journey that they know they're not coming back from. Okay,
you got to get laid one last time.
No, it's not about getting laid. It's about like sometimes there might be heavy petting, but it's just through friends. What? Look! You made Christy leave. Nerdrotic left. Thanks a lot.
My fault. That's my fault.
What a dick.
Look, everything doesn't revolve around your experience in law enforcement, Mad. So just stop.
Well, it wasn't as gay as the military.
Okay, so anyways,
so there are tiers of gaydom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there are.
I think Mad shared many a kiss of gratitude, much like Ray and
you have Rent, and then you have like the army.
Rent. What are you talking about?
Gay, bro.
Oh God.
Oh, I thought you meant like I got to pay for the rent, but I have no money. Maybe we could do something else.
No, like 6,743 2 million
525,600 minutes. You dolt.
But the worst part is you knew that. You knew that.
Not very well.
Of course I know that.
No, not you. Him.
Rent.
Apparently, I didn't know very well.
Well, you weren't in the production, but still you knew it.
Wait a minute.
Sorry.
What culture?
See what you did, Mad. See what you did. It is
what did
all
I
your
do?
fault. Everything.
I grabbed her shoe. Wait, I stuffed her shoes with extra socks. I ran 7 blocks in nothing flat. I said, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that.
I was gonna say to Lady Gravemaster, I think what you were going to say is that you're basically kind of throwing that lived experience that they keep preaching about right back in their face.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because I guarantee you, none of these pricks who are claiming that Sam and Frodo had sexual attractions to each other have ever been in a foxhole. They've never watched as one of their buddies' souls literally leaves their eyes. They've never been on the phone with the family crying. They've never lost anyone or been through any experience even remotely close to that. They have no idea what it's like to have bullets whizzing over your head and all you have is the guys to your left and your right knowing that you will kill and die for them and they will kill and die for you. That is something that is a completely different experience. That is something that no matter what you say or how you put it, Tolkien was a master author, and the way that he expressed the relationship of the Fellowship and everything that they went to is probably the best way you could ever describe it. And
like war buddies, right? They're war buddies.
Yes.
So if we can be serious for a moment, I guess.
I guess you could try.
The way I've always described it is like, when I was in Iraq, it was like being at at summer camp. Like all your relationships or everything is multiplied. Because you're cut off from everything, right? So, but add like bombs and the country wanting to kill you, on top of the summer camp. But that's really what it is. So everything is just amped up. You know what I mean? Like every joke is funnier. Every day is more important because
there's that opportunity.
But I don't think they're looking at it in that context. I think especially if you look at what the Twitter reactions to this have been, their thing is they just want a gay couple in the story.
In every story.
As deep as it's going with it. They're not looking at in context of who these characters are, what their experiences are. They just see 2 guys who are friends and they want to interpret it as gay because they don't see any other gay characters in the story.
Well, Jayne, it's also like we want to see a black Valerian because, there are none. Like not understanding what Valerians are.
More specifically, they want to see black characters in the story, and there are, but not the ones they want to invest in. So they'll just, we'll just swap this one. Why not?
Yeah, it's wanting to. They want to invest. They want to see the race swaps to major characters, but not minor characters.
Well, major-ish.
Major-ish.
You have to be major, but also have some significant issues. In society in the story, so that it can come from an oppressive standpoint.
I think also part of that is these same people that were saying that they want to see this in these characters and they want to see that they're gay. They're also discrediting everything that Tolkien went through when he was in World War I, because that's where he wrote a lot of these characters and his experience. He put him into those characters, his experiences that he had in war and the camaraderie he had with all his fellow soldiers. So, they're trying to discredit that too, because these are the same people that want to erase history.
Yes,
exactly.
And
Lady Gravemaster.
The thing is, so that's that conversation that Sam and Frodo have when, Frodo is like, "What are we doing, Sam?"
Right.
And then Sam talks to Frodo, like that is based on a conversation that Tolkien actually had.
Yeah.
Because, Matt will probably agree with me. War today, like the basics are all the same. Enemy versus the basics of war are there. But like what World War I soldiers and what World War I fighters went through versus what we go through today. Like they didn't have MREs back in World War I.
Comparison.
Like it's not even close. Like, do you have any idea?
Trenches.
Trench rot is not a thing anymore. But in World War I, do you know in World War I more frontline soldiers fell to trench rot than to bullets.
Yes.
Like that's how bad that was. Like the conditions that these soldiers went through was hell on earth.
Yeah,
and so for these people to belittle and degrade and say that, Tolkien just didn't know how to express it, or he was Catholic, and so because he was so Catholic and so virtuous and did all of these things, he's actually just hiding the fact that he really wanted them to be gay. It's
such bullshit.
And the most extreme ones just say it doesn't matter what the author wanted.
Exactly.
We can interpret however we want.
It's incredibly dishonest.
Well, and
you know what, Lady Gravemaster, there was also, just like all the wars before it, there was dysentery too.
Yes.
Which is extremely painful to go through.
Didn't he almost die of dysentery himself? Like, wasn't he very, very sick at one point? Like, almost lost his life. Yeah, he almost lost his own life. And the funny thing is, if you want to, they want to make sure it's Sam and Frodo. You know what I mean? Like the most important two characters of the book. Instead, like, if you were, I know this is gonna sound stupid, but if you want to make any of the hobbits gay, it would be Merry. It would be Merry and Pippin. They're smoking dope, drinking, maybe have
it's not dope.
Well,
they're not smoking dope.
They're smoking the leaf.
It's long bottom leaf.
It's a good leaf.
It's not dope. Tolkien, that was one of the things. Matt can also agree with me on this. Soldiers run on 4 things: tobacco, hate, coffee, and nowadays energy drinks. But back then,
Rip it. Rip it.
Yeah. Oh God, rip it. Oh my God, how those things are consumable is beyond me. And
I want one, whatever they are.
And care package, like letters, anything from home, like anything to make you
better have Copenhagen in it.
Yeah, yes, the care packages better have some tobacco in it. But like that's what they thrive on. I guarantee you, it was much like it was really similar. Like I wasn't there, so I can't say. But I'm gonna guess that again, the basics are pretty much all the same.
Pipe tobacco.
Yeah, like you had tobacco. You definitely had tobacco back then. You definitely had coffee back then. Yep. It was a huge thing to have coffee, and tea was another coffee and tea in the trench. Like that was those are the small little comforts, escapism to take you out of the hell that you were currently in. That is why Tolkien was such a champion for escapism, because those small moments when you can actually leave the utter hell you're existing in will keep you sane. You have to come back to it.
I agree.
Those few moments will let you keep your soul.
But let me ask this question. There's one sentence that makes you think that the leaf has some type of, more than tobacco stimulant, because like when Sauron says, Gandalf, it's rotting your brain, you smoke too much of the leaf, it would be rotting your brain. Like it's more than a tobacco in this movie. That's all in this series. That's all I'm saying. It's something closer to a mixture of tobacco in like a marijuana, I would think, or an opiate in a way. I don't even know, but I think he meant it to be a little bit more, but I've heard your argument too. Like people are like, no, it's tobacco. That's all it is.
Well, you know that tobacco used to be cut with cocaine, right?
Okay, I want to smoke that shit.
No, you do not.
No, I don't.
To add on kind of what, Gravemaster and everybody's saying here, and it's one of the oldest tropes, is that it's this mindset that you can't identify the struggle or relate to someone who isn't of your sexuality or race or such. It's like I've always brought this up, that me as a black man, my favorite hero I've related to was always Peter Parker.
Wow. Because
he has that life that a lot of us go through, and that is just struggling to get by.
See, and I one of the funniest things, I mean, you go down like the list of sports heroes that I have, and there are not a lot of white guys on that list.
Exactly.
And it's funny, and then you get to like what I guess superhero would I want to be? Blade.
I was just about to say that too. I love Peter Parker, but I would want to be Blade.
Yeah,
you're a vampire with none of the vampire shit.
And slay people.
I've always said, if the hero I wanted to be, Nightwing.
That's a dope one too.
Well, he's black now.
When will we get it? When will we get it across to people that it's not the color the gender. It's the character that we fall in love with. It's what that experience is. Daredevil. I don't want to be blind, but I love Daredevil.
Well, dude, and here's the thing. I loved Falcon from Captain America and the Falcon comics way back in the day. I mean, I'm 1,000. Yeah, and so, in fact, I still have the Power record that I listen to at night to go to sleep.
God, you're so old. I love it.
Yeah.
What is a Power record?
It's like Disco Duck or something like that.
No, Power Records was a company. They made all kinds of stuff, but they made
Why would we know that?
It's not like that.
Because you're cultured. Because you're under Culture Casino's wing, and he's cultured, so you should be too.
Rest on his bosom.
But it's laurels. But what's funny about that is because I could follow along in my comic book for the most part, and yet it was this incredible story, and I would listen to the narration and the voice actors and see it in my mind, and it would knock me out on the nights that I couldn't go to sleep, because usually I went to sleep with a book on my face, because I would not stop reading and just pass out reading every night. This is where Makani and I we are so alike. It is the character that we want to be like. We don't care what they look like. We don't care if they're of a particular persuasion. We don't their skin color. Their immutables are the least of the deal. It's their ability to overcome. It's their ability to rise to the occasion. It's it's the character themselves that we fall in love with. So none of that stuff matters. None of it.
I guess mine would be Hank the Cowdog. Love that series of books.
God, I fucking hate you.
Not at all.
Not at all, really.
Hank the Cowdog was a great series. What are y'all talking about?
Well, see,
I mean, you know what? These people, though, with their nonsense, this is all part of the greater oppression Olympics, and they're doing everything they possibly can at this point to go home with the gold. We've seen that in the actual real life Olympics. These people just don't stop with their nonsense. They can't see past the veil of it needs to be about me, and I need to be represented, and I need to see myself in there, because if I don't see myself, it's not worthy of my time. This is not why these things are being created. These things are being created so you can escape reality, so you could see something beyond our norm, something that's exciting, something that's entertaining, something that has never been done before. And they want to strip all that away, and they want to create something that is basically, in all intent and purposes, flaccid and devoid of any real meaning.
But they also want to ruin that. Look at what they did. Look at Jacob puts. Sounds like people who wanted Falcon and Winter Soldier to be lovers. Bucky Barnes was a ladies' man from the beginning. All of a sudden now, not even 10 years later, we want to have him be gay.
Well, guess what? That was another character I identified with. Cap.
Oh, wow.
I identified with Captain America.
Yeah. This Cap was so good, but I just, like I said, I mean, it doesn't make any sense that this is the kind of story they want to tell. And Tommy's right. I mean, it has a little bit to do with the oppression Olympics, but it's like these people are relishing in their victimhood, or they're trying to all be victims. They're volunteering. I mean, literally, that used to be the joke. There are no victims. There are only volunteers. These people are literally volunteering to be victims now.
And I want to make one more example, because I know this gets thrown around a lot. A lot of people say that you can't identify with Batman and that you're not a millionaire. However,
we could dream.
You can, however, you still can't. You can still identify with
the pain,
losing, with the pain and loss, and how it motivates you to want to do right.
The ideal of never being able to quit, to be able to keep going on even after the worst thing has happened to you.
To make sure that what happens to you doesn't happen to anyone else.
Those are the kids that didn't read, or the people that didn't read Harry Potter. Those are the kids that weren't exposed to the Boxcar Children's series, right?
I love Boxcar.
Or C.S. Lewis's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe series.
Oh, I love it.
The Chronicles of Narnia.
Yep.
Right. When you were exposed to those things, you didn't want to be the Eustaces, the children in the Chronicle of Narnia, until you got to see the fantastic world they got to live in. You didn't want to be the Boxcar children until you realized, wow, it would be really cool to live in a fixed up boxcar and kind of play house and have the responsibilities of an adult at times, and yet still be looked after by the eldest, and all of those. It was really, really cool stuff. And if those are the books, again, I read a lot. Those are the books that spoke to me. Of course,
but I read those too.
We had no words.
The Hardy Boys, they gave me a thirst, for solving mysteries.
Choose your own adventure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love
the choose your own adventure. The
Hank the Cow Dog.
Well, he
What were
was
you gonna
really
say,
just
Lady
Dick
Gravemaster?
Tracy. He was really Hank the Cow Dog is really just Dick Tracy in dog form.
How
dog
dare
drag
you.
and dog drag.
So I'm just saying, but no, I agree with what you're saying, Culture. I think what this is, so we've gone from seeing an idealistic hero protagonist,
right,
to people. So people I can't ever fly, or I can't leap tall buildings in a single bound. I can't do any of that stuff. But look at what he was able to accomplish just by telling the truth, by standing up for justice. His job, his day job was to be in the newspaper. That's the thing too. We won't even get into that. But it was to tell the truth and to let people know, and to be part of that, and to keep people informed and be honest with it. So then now we're on the flip side, where it was look at these are ways that you can be a day-to-day hero, and you can always be inspired by what your heroes have done, overcoming their failings and being really excited with their victories and feeling like a part of that. Now it's become the age of self-insertion, where I don't want anybody to be elevated above me. Why should I have to get fit in order to be healthy, or to be a superhero? Why should I have to put in the time to read the backstory? Why should I know the lore? Why should I do why do superheroes have to be smart or fast or brave or strong or whatever? They're that's not fair, because anybody should be able to be a superhero.
Okay,
I know that
everybody gets a trophy.
Okay, let me. Sorry.
Hold on, Jayne, and then we'll wrap it up after Makani.
The whole concept of everybody getting a trophy taken to the next logical extreme, and now every single individual person is special for nothing except some superficial reason. And there was a girl on TikTok when they were talking about some new gender, who basically said that she felt uncomfortable when she didn't fit in a category.
What?
That was so ridiculous, Jayne. I seen that one.
Well, how can
this the future?
Let me
for a group of individuals, because I shudder to call them a generation.
Right.
But for a group of individuals who claim to hate labels, they sure as shit love their labels.
That's all they do is live on labels.
Crap.
They are 100% falling in line with the establishment. And they're again, these are volunteers for check boxes to further divide them from everyone else, because they were taught you have to be a special little snowflake in every single way. And because of your snowflake status, Jayne just said, you were going to get a trophy for just showing up to the soccer field and picking your damn nose.
Yeah,
right.
That's when I coached T-ball, they wouldn't keep score, but we kept score on my team. That's for damn sure.
Hell yeah. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I found it weird. So I am part of the participation trophy generation, as much as I shudder to admit. But so I grew up playing sports and stuff. I actually never got a participation trophy. Your trophy, as it were, you got your t-shirt, your club t-shirt was I was there, and you take a team picture. So you take the team picture and you get your club t-shirt, and that was it. You didn't get a little trophy that was thanks for being here. No, you got your t-shirt and your picture, and you called it a day. And the teams that had the most points at the end of the day got trophies, and we had a tournament and you got a trophy, but you had to earn that shit.
Yep. And that's the way. And I won't let my kids earn any.
I'm showing up at the private air terminal tomorrow, and I'm going to, because I identify now as a billionaire.
Oh, I like that.
And I'm going to purchase a private plane and staff with my smile.
I freaking love it.
And I was going to say to what Lady Gravemaster was saying, and I wanted to provide a counterpoint, is what is relatable about being perfect at everything and loved and respected by everyone around you, and still act like you're oppressed,
right?
And still act like you're.
Would you like to know the answer to that?
Let's close out with this, Lady Gravemaster. We're going to close out with this. Tell us.
So, okay, Jayne can disagree with me, but it is literally the secret fantasy of a lot of girls to not be loved, not be adored, but to be worshipped by everyone. They want to be literally worshipped. That's why they say, "Oh, simping is king shit," or like you got like I'm a queen. Like if you want to be my king, you have to first show me that you think I'm your queen. Like that's this mentality. But like literally, women, like a lot of women, I'm not saying all, but a lot of women want to be worshipped, and it has spiraled into these self-insertions where they can be fat and unhealthy and
I thought we were going to get into Twitch all of a sudden.
Oh no,
that's right. Yeah,
and you're right.
Instagram
is
and
Twitch,
Twitch culture had a lot to do with now everybody being famous simply for existing.
And
so that's where this is like spiraling down into, where you end up with crap like I Am Not Starfire, where she is not physically fit. She there is nothing unique or special about her, but because there's nothing unique or special about her, she is the most amazing because she's becoming herself, and herself is the most amazing thing in the world. And so she deserves to be
a piece of shit.
To be worshipped. So you can be unhealthy, a bitch, have no morals, trash people, treat everyone around you like absolute garbage, and still just be elevated by everyone around you and worshipped.
And really what I was referring to was, and Jay knows what I'm talking about, black female characters.
Big, black, and angry. And then the men are.
We see a lot of times. We see it with Riri Williams. We see it with Mikey Spock. We see it with a lot of black female characters.
Yeah,
when it's not
even not racist or anything, but it's
theirs. They're also diminishing traditional femininity too.
Yes, yes,
and blaming white people for every one of your problems.
Well, what I love is just take the Loki series, and we have to end on this. I got to close it out, but take the Loki series. The two strongest TVA guards or whatever they were a small little woman who fought hard, beat the shit out of Loki pretty much, but then got captured by the female Loki. And then the big black angry guard who was out of shape, but yet took on a god with one swing, knocking him on his ass.
A god that 2 days earlier was like taking bullets. He took on Thor. He took on Iron Man.
The
he
Hulk.
Got a fucking arrow from Hawkeye.
Right.
Without even looking.
Right, but he got hit by a stick. He got hit by a stick that was not doing anything with time until it hit him. So please, we've come so far the wrong way. Yeah. We need content creators. Yeah. We need independent content creators to start creating the stuff we want to see. But I do have to close this out.
Which is all men.
All men all the time doing men's stuff like taking baths.
It's not true.
All right. Let's first thank you, Lady Gravemaster. I really I'm going to add you to our DM group if you want to, because you could be on anytime you want. That was awesome. Really enjoyed having you on the show. So,
sure, we don't have to do a vote or anything.
No, but
this isn't a democracy.
Not at all. It's my fucking house. So tell them where they can find you.
You can find, I do have a YouTube channel. There's a few videos up there, and I do have an Instagram and a Twitter. Those are the two places I'm most active on. So by all means, I've got some Lord of the Rings vids up. I've also got a couple of Cuties vids, and some, the other one is, boys are not allowed to be boys anymore. So I've actually touched on a lot of stuff that we talked about here. Yeah. So, I've actually touched on quite a bit of stuff we hit up here. But I wanted to go ahead and say thank you absolutely so much for having me on. This was an absolute fantastic time. And I really, really appreciate it. I'm super humbled that you would even want to have me on. So thank you greatly.
No, definitely. I have to say it's been, I think I want to say it was like, it's Instagram, seeing like how we relate to a lot of the same stuff on Instagram. And I thought you would be a great add-on. So, and I knew it. You have very good points, and I'm happy to have you on the show anytime. I just put your link in the chat. So guys, please go over there and make sure you subscribe. And again, you're invited back anytime. We'll talk after this.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. That was a lot of fun. We'll jump down to Tommy in the Guinea Pig Collective. Let them know where they can find you, Tommy.
Hey everybody, this is Tommy in the Guinea Pig Collective. Well, actually, this is the Joker Pig taking over for him. You know, there's so many things wrong with Hollywood these days, and it really is a clown world out there, but you can always find things that you like. Things that really spark your interest. That's why I like to talk about the old stuff, old toys, old movies, and some of the retro stuff that has been coming out recently, because you know what? Some of this other new stuff that are coming out with like Revelations, it just doesn't really strike a chord with me. It makes me think of my days of dealing with that stupid Batman all the time. But make sure you stop by and check everything out. And remember, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say, what you should or should not watch, because your silence gives consent.
Did you?
Yeah, I was muted that whole time. Thanks, Tommy. I said some lovely things about you. And Makani draws is up.
I was wondering, it got quiet for a second.
I'm a freaking boomer, dude. You know that. Let's go.
Okay, boomer club. Okay, boomer. Sorry, I ain't gonna do that. Anyway, thank you guys for always stopping by. Especially special thanks to Lady Gravemaster for stopping by. You're an absolute incredible. Love to have you on Rogue Entertainment at some point. So, other than that, guys, you can find me on YouTube where I do draw streams, Thomas videos, and it's all art. It's pure art, and it's pure art from a guy with a lot of heart. So, hey, that rhymes. Yeah. Anyway, Sunday, right after, and this is my big announcement. So, Sunday, right after the Sunday Culture Review, head over to my mainstream Makani Live, because tomorrow it's an art auction.
Gorgeous, man.
I'm putting this up for an auction.
This is a terrible time to be poor.
So if you guys are interested in bidding on this, come by the stream tomorrow. And on top of that, I am adding this Catwoman piece onto that, so you will be getting two pieces, both signed and framed. So if you guys are interested in bidding on both of them,
can we say no to the woman?
No, you get one, you get both. If you get this one, you're getting this one as well. So if you want to bid on this piece tomorrow, stop by the channel, stop by Makani Live, and so I'm gonna place a bid.
Makani, you got it, dude. It's gonna sell, bro.
Beautiful.
It's so gorgeous.
Oh, it's so good now.
It really is. It's gorgeous. I'm pissed we never got to the Teela is modeled after Gal Gadot article. I totally forgot about that one.
Scott,
oh, that's easy. No,
he's not. I got a little secret for you. I told Culture.
What's that?
So Teela is modeled after Gal Gadot in Legend of Korra. But do you know who Korra was modeled after?
That I do not know.
Gina Carano.
No,
so Teela is technically modeled after Gina Carano.
Again, I have a easy answer. No,
right?
She is not. Have you seen Teela?
She looks like a dude.
Yeah, Gina does not look like a dude.
I got it.
It's a misperception.
Okay, I know you've said like 6 times that you've got to wrap up, but so. If I've got one thing, I swear to God, hang on, share. Okay, I got.
We're sharing. Let's do this.
Okay, hang on. It's loud, so hold on.
Well, we're used to that on this channel. Culture.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm about to share is I got called out or whatever you want to do. So there's a guy. So it's going. This is my Insta. I did a flip. So it says, if only Olympics were a thing to show shut-in nerds that muscles actually exist. So. These are Olympic athletes. Those, you've got actual power lifters in there. Like, no kidding.
Right.
Like, you've got track. There's a power lifter. There's the gymnastics. There's swimming. There's another junior powerlifting team, and then there's Teela.
Yep. And well, I think that's the difference, Lady Gravemaster. They're taking what is traditionally an athletic woman, and they're taking the extreme version of an athletic woman that's taking substances and everything to get as big as they want.
That's the case. And
putting a penis on them too.
Right, and that's the case with Teela because they think that because Teela was modeled after Korra and Gal Gadot, they're not that. They do have muscle, but they're not that muscular though.
They're not. Yeah,
one of the biggest complaints about Gal Gadot was that she didn't have muscle.
Exactly. Yeah. So they're missing the point. Yeah.
You're telling me these women look like Teela? No,
they don't. So they misconstrued it. They said that Korra they were based off of it.
Oh my god!
But they don't realize that Korra was based herself. Her build was based off of Gina Carano.
Yeah,
so they basically played themselves.
I did competitive swimming for years, and I've done CrossFit for years.
I can swim.
Like that. You don't look like, there's men that don't look like Teela naturally. Like they have to the practices.
No,
you have to
don't look like that.
No, like the practices.
Like a very fit man.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's just you're just trying to play this up and say, "Oh, this is a realistic build. Mm-hmm. This is how strong women look like." And it's like,
because
Last of Us 2 was even worse because
it was
Abby smash.
There was like with the Teela, like, okay, it's a different planet, whatever. Maybe they have better, burritos. But in The Last of Us 2, there's no way she could even have enough calories available to
be that jacked. Come on,
she'd have to eat like 6 pounds of Wagyu every 3 hours to.
I mean, for that guy to be, going in on her like that, I'm like, I don't know, I feel like that's unrealistic in any way, shape, or form, and unsettling.
What was that, Jayne?
It doesn't explain what they did to her face.
Right, she looks like a dude.
Yeah, the thing that they keep trying to go back to are like these fitness models and competitions, like what Arnold Schwarzenegger used to do. You have them on the women's side. Those women, they cannot maintain that physique. That's why you have off seasons. It is not sustainable. Like, they have their competition season and then they crash basically.
Right.
Like they're still healthy, they're still fit, but they do not look like that because you cannot naturally maintain it. It's just not possible.
And a lot of times they still look like women in their faces as well.
Yes.
Does that look like a female?
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. Just
you know what?
She looks more like a drag.
I would say if there's one adjustment that I could make, if I was only allowed to make one adjustment, drop the chin. Give her a much more curvature chin and jawline.
White on her face, put some red makeup on her with a little bit of green hair, and you got the Joker.
There you go. All right, we're wrapping it up still.
The Joker that would give you a reach around. Hey, it's me, El Mad Martigano. Come check out my channel.
Cool. Enthralling.
Yeah,
dude, you're trying to wrap it up. I'm trying to be quick here.
I give you an opportunity and you do that to us. Whatever.
Well,
dude.
I don't know when you're going to take it
Theory,
away from me.
thank you very much. Jayne, go ahead.
Yes, you can find me on YouTube where I post movie and television reviews and occasionally some pop culture commentary. You can also find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at Jayne Theory.
There you go. Thank you, Jayne. That's how you do it. Culture Casino.
Hey guys, Culture Casino here. I have a YouTube channel, Culture Casino, a Minds Culture Casino, Twitter Culture Casino, and an Odyssey. I do a lot of stuff. I do 10 live streams on my own channel now per week, and which is amazing. Thank you. And I do now 23 streams on other people's channels throughout the week, and I still manage to have a job.
What job is that? Who do you work for?
Wow.
I just want to say thank you all for being here. This was an incredible night. We had a great guest. We, of course, had the ever lovely Jayne Theory here to, keep us inside the fence for a change, and I appreciate that very much. Beyond that, support Scott in any way that you possibly can. He's a good dude. He's about to have another kid that he really didn't want, and if he could have just got his testicles clipped a little earlier,
just a few weeks. Scott,
can I just show one thing real quick?
Yeah, sure. Let's make it last forever.
All right. This is Teela, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys know Stephen Wayne?
No.
Yeah.
I know Damon
Wayne's
Wayans.
version. This was his version.
That's gorgeous compared.
Exactly.
Oh, but she's lighter.
And she's a redhead. Yeah. Gross.
Look at just the shoulders are even still big, but she has a figure. That's amazing.
Yep. Where are her organs?
She needs extra ones.
It doesn't. You don't have to have like big breasts to look feminine.
No, nor do you need an appropriate amount of room for your organs either.
And that's what people miss is the freaking point. So there you go.
Good stuff. All right, thank you everybody for coming out tonight. We had a great time. Thank you, Lady Gravemaster. Thank you to the chat. I want to thank my channel members. I really appreciate you guys. Everybody who gave super chats. Yeah. The Oberyn Martell level, we have E. Clay, Thomason, Valliant Renegade, Larry, Lady Tauriel, Culture Casino, Mad Martigan. The Little Finger level, we have Tina Bojan, Toxic Man Flu, Jake D, Who Knew the Salt Must Flow. Thank you guys for everything. You support the channel greatly. This gaze is for you. I really appreciate you guys. And just remember, we don't have an updated Sporking dump credits because he didn't want to do it. But you know what, Andy, I appreciate you, man.
Andy,
sorry you're not on this, Andy.
Andy, I want to explain this real quickly before I created it. He didn't answer the question.
Oh my God.
Where am I?
Oh, I still don't have the one with you on it.
Where am I at?
Oof.
Are you kidding me?
Hold on a second.
Are you kidding me?
You guys are you guys are good at talking.
Saturday afternoon.
Talk for a second because I gotta.
About what? The betrayal?
I got it somewhere. Hold on.
You betray someone who's not loyal to you.
You're out there. I was just trying to get confirmation on the spelling of your name because I actually have it ready to render.
I told you what it was. It's MCC Lamb.
3 spots every Wednesday and Saturday at 3 p.m.
Spelling is hard.
Spelling is hard.
Well, it is. Yeah.
Oh, look. How dare you, Red Gaze? How dare you?
I was supposed to ask Christy how to pronounce serum.
How dare you?
Serum.
Serum.
What happened with Christy?
Christy had internet issues.
Yeah.
I think it was
okay, if you're trying to say serum, but you're having trouble with it, just say syrup, but change the ending.
Serum.
Mad.
Serum.
He says,
there you go.
Serum.
There you go.
Does that work? Serum?
It's close.
When's the stream on Saturday again? What time?
3 p.m. Central. But we have one on Wednesday.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Happy to be here.
There you are. Look. There you are.
His one's kind of bent though.
Yeah. Why is mine crooked?
We're working it. You're not special. Ta-da-ta-da. You all mean a lot to me. Good night, everybody.